It's just in complete turmoil.
Yeah, but they was in turmoil already.
Brother, we were finished before, bro.
Do you know what? The person that might know, the footballers that could potentially have a problem with us, is the man to our left right now. Let's give a round of applause, please, for Jordy and Leicester. We don't use
Wait,
we got
by the way,
Clap for the second.
to my left is Steve-O, by the way.
Yeah, so give me a round of applause.
But Jolyon, was you ever like?
See you don't clap. See you the man that don't clap for you.
Straight in,
Yeah,
man.
straight in,
He's
bro.
been here already, man.
Yeah,
This is family tree.
Before
now.
we get straight
Yeah?
in, his family tree,
Family tree.
he's leveled up something so sick, man. Come
Not
on.
on a level.
England.
You have, you know.
Yeah?
He has.
He's a brother as well.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, he likes.
Yeah.
All right, I won't. That one's-
Hey, you got to save that for
You
the
said
Filthy
you were
Fella
working at
Patreon.
57%.
England coach though.
Yeah.
One of them. One of the coaches. Yeah. Yeah, but I consider you the main one.
You didn't really play a lot like in the proper like social media era. You would have got to play like before, innit? But say like your whole career was in this social media era. Would you not like seeing like all these like kids and just like people that can't sprint and that talking, just chatting rubbish, bruv?
Nah, it's mad. It is bad. To be fair, it's probably the only industry that everyone's an expert that's
Yeah.
never done it.
Just to give you a little bit of background, some footage came out of him playing football recently.
I was cold. Don't do that.
And he's been getting cooked on Twitter a little bit.
No, I haven't. Why is he?
All
See,
right.
man. But
Yeah, no,
this is what
yeah.
it is.
So let's
Bro,
continue.
I'm 33 tomorrow, yeah?
Nice. Happy birthday. Happy
Lippy!
birthday.
It's not his birthday yet.
I'm not gonna see him. I'm not gonna see him though tomorrow. I'm not gonna see him.
Bro, they put man Beatties. I don't know if you heard about Beatties.
Yeah.
They're the fastest black people in the world. And we played against them.
Faster than you said?
I think it did. No, this now, definitely now. But yeah, it was difficult, innit? But I did all right. Don't do that because all your footage is pictures. Just wearing good boots, lifting trophies. Man don't see the game.
We don't even know what the technique's really saying.
bruv.
How you finding it though? What, the coaching? Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Obviously, we only done one camp. Like, we got another one next week.
Do you know what I wanted to ask you, yeah? And you've probably got a different scope of it now. But I can't stand international break. I don't like it. It hurts my players.
You must love it.
You gotta love it now. You love it now, innit?
But you got to love it now, innit?
Yeah, what, you didn't like the Euros? Or just in breaks in the season,
I
you mean?
like the
in
Euros,
the season.
but
Oh,
the
in the
break
season.
in the season, yeah.
Yeah, I get that. I get it. Like, Champions League's disrupted and, yeah, the Premier League and all that.
What is it like for you? Do you get headache from gaffers too then?
Nah. As I said, like, I've only done this one camp
Yeah,
as
yeah.
seniors, but we did work, obviously, 21, so it's similar things, just a lesser scale. But, nah, you just... It's different now because there's probably less influence from managers in terms of how they perceive international breaks. I think a lot of coaches from previous generations were like that. And like, you're going to hurt my players, you're going to injure my players.
What's changed?
I think they have to respect it now. It's part of it. It's always been part of it, but I think now like they have to understand that players want to play for the national team. Like, it grows your profile as a player, as an individual. Like, you play, you're an England star, you're a world star. Do you know what I
But
mean?
you've always, okay, because during the Fergie era,
Yeah.
he's one of the ones that would always get his players dragged and whatnot, just if they had a Champions League coming
Yeah.
up. But they understood how important it was. Them players, that golden generation, they understood how
the
important it was.
No, we understood it. Definitely understood. Because again, that was crossover my period as well. We definitely understood it, but I think it was perceived different. Like, when you say your players, you want England to do well, though, don't you?
Yes.
But and every player, because what I felt was before, which I think Gareth Southgate needs a lot of respect for, is I think he
got rid of the tribalism.
He created an environment where we want England to do well, not like a Chelsea fan wants only Chelsea
I wanted
players.
Lampard to miss.
It's funny you say that because I've actually got some notes because I'm not sure if you lot watched the last episode like Geordie said to do, but I did. And we've already spoke on this, but touching on that,
I like
you said last time
You read with your finger?
you thought Southgate had the perfect harmony. Now you're in it. Did he?
Yeah, definitely. The environment that the group was at and that we've kind of took over is unreal. Like, different to when I played. Like I said, like, they're socialised together differently and a lot more
I
relaxed.
think that takes anything away from the league now, though, because like all the players are all pally and.
No, I'll tell you why I would say that now, because I watched Madrid derby last night.
Me too.
They were friends. And then I seen footage from Leverkusen and Bayern, and they was all pally, like in the tunnel as well. So
I think it's just a different time now. I think you socially are more interact with people. Like I remember when I was like, say, under 15, 16s, used to get the sheet of who was in the squad, and look down and not know the names, not even know like who they were, and then you meet up, and then I might not see you again, or anything, any footage, or see you again, and then now all of a sudden, you probably meet up with someone, follow them on socials, and then interact with them. So now when you get together, it's a bit of camaraderie.
Did Jolien the player think like this?
Yeah, I used to hate going away. When I was young, going to England was the worst thing. I used to hate dealing with you, man, from down south. You man were a lot back then. So
Who was that? So that's a good one. When you used to go to the England schoolboys or...
yes, our front three was a problem. So it used to be JD, Jermaine Defoe.
Yes.
Leon Knight.
Yes.
and Jay Buffroyd.
Is
Jay
it?
Buffroyd.
Them three up
Oh, so
front.
they're mouthy as well then?
Mate.
Yeah, it's true.
Mate. Oh, it was a lot. It was a lot.
Are they mouthy?
Was
Yeah.
there anyone that you played with in that like same time frame that just didn't make it in football?
Didn't make it in football that you thought was
Like when you was at England when you was young that like we might not know of.
I'd say didn't make it, but in terms of like like 90,
Oh man,
he probably didn't have the career his talent should have had.
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
He was mad, and probably the era, like he probably was deemed not big enough for certain levels, but talent-wise, wow.
I heard Andrew Gomez speaking about that recently, talking about in football they keep talking about height. I heard Cole Palmer, his frame apparently was too small, so they was always thinking about shipping him on at one time. Going back to the England job, Geordie touched upon it as well. Just like being a player, you have to go away to do international duty. Now you're a coach. Now there would have been several challenges that you incurred or seen as a player when the England manager was calling you up. Now as one of the coaches, is it easier for you to deal with the potential dangers that might be happening as being one of the players that are getting called up? You know the frame of mind some of the players might be in. You know what the managers might be saying to the players at the time. Is it easier for you to deal with that type of situation?
Not easier because everyone handles things differently, but it's easier to understand where they are, and I didn't realise what they would kind of discuss in terms of selecting and all that, and obviously the data and then the psychological aspects of how they're coming back in, of defeats or you just take it for granted. Like, and it's more surreal now, definitely more surreal as a coach, like getting the opportunity to be involved in the seniors. It's weird, like it feels a lot more, I feel a lot more proud, and my family seem to be more prouder
That's a big deal.
than as a player.
Oh, mad.
It's just mad, not in a disrespectful way, because as a player, as I was progressing, I kind of seen it. Oh, you keep producing, you're gonna play for England, or you can play for England. Where as a
I think
coach,
this is more of like your reputation, innit? That's why I think your family probably feel how they feel. That's why we feel how we feel. Like that's a big deal.
As a player, you're kind of just responsible for yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Being able
There
to
you
like
go.
go and look after
Yeah.
other people's like being a teacher
big
or
deal.
more.
yeah.
And like you got so much responsibility to show so many different
I feel as well to become an England coach or manager, like the look they do into you, like they don't let
Yeah, no, it's
people
not a
through
joke.
that
Yeah, it's not
door
a
unless
joke.
like you've
You've gotta be
represented your
certified.
career's been
Yeah.
done well, and yeah, so big.
How did you even know that job was available? Is it like
but nah, to be fair, it's not like, we haven't got it full time. So I worked with the 21s with Lee Carsley and Ashley Cole, played with Lee, and then he kind of got the opportunity to obviously to step up when Gareth stepped away, and he just wanted the same squad and the same staff. So he gave me the opportunity. I was like, yeah, it's a no-brainer.
How are you as a person finding taking the job on with like all this media about who's going to take the job?
Oh, fine. It's an opportunity for me. Like I'm not sitting here saying we've got it or would want to be a part of it. If Lee got the opportunity to do it full time, 100% I would. But I respect that. There's
Do
great.
you think he's been a bit hard done by on the media tip?
Not hard done by. I just think unknown there's not a lot known about Lee as a person, as a coach, and I've said this before. Like I think if and his success at the 21s tournament was documented a lot more, if it was on TV. I think only the final was on telly, Channel
No goals
4.
conceded.
So I'm saying, like, no one's done that. Do you know what I mean? And not just that, the way they were playing, the way he had the group playing,
Different, yeah.
like very different. So it would be less of a surprise. You wouldn't be surprised that he's got this opportunity if you'd seen the way he developed all the
Obviously, the
qualifying
FA
games.
have seen it. Then the people,
100%. The people that make the decisions. Yeah. So that's why. And then also, it might help that Spain have had a similar transition and had success doing it. Argentina's similar-ish as well. So it's understanding the transition of players, or how do we bed them in easily, and then all of a sudden you've got a coach that's worked with them. And Gareth was that as well. Remember, Gareth was part of the, you know what I mean? So he had the transition.
Johnny, one thing to look at is the fact that you were, the under-21s, and then the progression of that. You spoke about several examples. Pep Guardiola, I remember at Barcelona as well, was doing the B side, and then by the time he's gone to the senior side, he's got the respect because he's been in the club. You lot, share a similar pathway. Let's talk about 3 players that you would have worked with at that level and what they're doing today. Rico Lewis, Colwill, and for me, one of the best players in the Prem. I'll throw it out there. And you know what, my bad. Geordie was the person that was raving about this guy from early. Mr. Cole Palmer himself.
I don't know. I think I said a couple bits, but
I don't remember.
I think I said a couple bits about him.
I don't. Yeah, maybe was it text? Was it a WhatsApp? Because if it was WhatsApp, it's not.
Okay. I was at the second WhatsApp you lot got that I'm not in.
I'm not there as well.
Let's move on.
What more can we say about Cole Palmer that hasn't been said? And is it a situation where from when you saw him in the under-21 squad, you knew, just like Geordie and Steve-O?
I knew Cole from before 21, so I've worked at City for a bit as well. So I'd seen Cole and I knew of him, and yeah, he was never gonna not produce the talent. Like, there was never in question.
Was he right to not? I don't know if it's to leave or to let him go, but that City.
Yeah, it was right for them both. Like, in the greatest respect to for everyone. I don't listen. No disrespect to Man City or Cole. Like, Cole, like, gone on and to do what he's done, and I don't think Man City are ever gonna miss any player. Do you know what I mean? Like, the system that Pep has created, the manager after Pep may have needed Cole Palmer more, but at least, like, Pep has got a system. Like, they've played without a number 9 and won the title. They've played without Kevin De Bruyne for half a season and won title. So, great respect to the stage that Cole was at the time. Like, letting him go, again, you're not going to miss him. Yeah, you made a mistake because it is what it is, but would have Cole done what he done last season for City? No, because he wouldn't have had the game time.
His playing style don't really fit it as well.
He just wouldn't have played the minutes.
But I'm saying we had the opportunity to see the worst Chelsea side ever, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
And all of a sudden, they just got this guy just scoring. Like, what happened the other day? What was that?
4 goals.
Because when I heard he scored 4, remember?
Yeah, we were watching. Yeah,
we was there. I just thought, cool, innit? It must be just some normal goal.
4 in the first half.
We're going to get back to the England thing, but on that game, the mistakes that teams are making now from trying to play at the back.
Oh,
what do you think of that?
it's a lot.
Obviously, there comes a stage where you just got
was it Gary
to get rid
Neville
of it.
cost the other day? Was it Wolves? He was
Yeah.
just saying about everyone trying to do it.
Yeah.
And I agree to a certain extent, because the risk to reward is like, how many times do teams do it to get in out their half? Never mind scoring.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, if you could do it as often as they try, and this is not, say, Premier League, this is like other tiers in football, you wouldn't be at that level.
Yeah.
If you could do it every time, you would be playing for the teams that do it every time.
But isn't there an argument to say repetition is clearly the mother in all learning? And football, football's about habits. And if you get
not
into
in learning, but learning would be that you can't do it every time. That would be the learning.
Repetition of having to do it every single time, because no matter what you do, you're gonna make mistakes. Even
but when you're not doing it as often as you, or less times than you are doing it. So say you're doing it 10 times and you're getting it wrong 6, then try a different path.
Yeah, the definition of insanity, fam.
I'm just saying, as an Arsenal fan, and I'm sure, Lippy, you can remember, I watched David Luiz, amongst many others, get it wrong. And now today, we get it right. And
no,
you don't get it right.
But listen.
But you've also moved a lot of them players on.
Just to stick to the point.
It's just the philosophies, isn't it? Like, I'm playing step 36 in football. They want us to pass out from the back. What are you doing?
No, but soon come though.
I don't even know my man that I'm playing with. And we got to play like City. It's like, it don't make no sense.
It doesn't.
When I first started playing football, I was told to never pass across the box.
Yeah. Oh, in it. That one's cool. Yeah.
That was.
When I was year 6, they taught us how to kick far and never stop running. Yeah?
Kick fire, not pass. Kick far.
Listen, if you play before the midfield line, I'm a fullback. They said, Jay, kick it far.
Do you think that hindered your career?
No, I played for my borough, my county from kicking it far.
All right.
I ain't, listen, I come from a different era. The black youth on the wing will get it.
Yeah.
Why am I passing it to the youth? I don't even know his name.
Have you seen that like meme of like Sunday League breakdown, when it says like
The biggest players in goal.
Yes, the right back's
The
just
one
the
that had
fit.
Charles is the right winger. and that-
Yeah.
Do you think
That
you
used to
could? Do you
be.
think you could look at each of us and like player ideas, put us in a position?
Yeah, go on quick.
Look at us. Go on.
Yeah.
Steve-O set her up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
He knows
yeah.
that. Classy, elegant.
I thought he was a fool.
I want to say my name's Caleb before.
He's a
I don't
fullback.
think
I've seen it. I've seen it.
Long foot.
Yeah, it's
He can
size
swim,
12.
he can swim.
Size 12.
I can swim. I can swim. I'm
No,
a good
because when
swimmer.
I'm like,
Swim.
when
But
I'm
because he's
like,
fit, he's got to be
Yeah.
midfield. You got to be set
Oh,
mid.
okay.
He's got to be sit.
When he stopped swimming at 11.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Carry on.
Doesn't matter. Most black people
Oh
don't
my
swim.
gosh. No. No. Oh, gosh. I brought it in. I brought it through. Oh my.
I said park.
Bro, I've never seen that inside.
That should set her up partner.
Yeah, that's
Should
what I
set
said.
her
No,
up like that.
wait, ready. Hey, KG. Quickly, he said that you're my centre half partner, but where do you play? Tell him where you play.
I'm a supporting striker, fam.
Supporting striker.
Let's go, space.
Somebody's lying. I was going to say set her up or goalie.
He's goalie.
Goalie.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Hey, get out of here, man.
Lippy.
He's a winger.
Yeah.
I used to be.
Because it's speed. Speed.
See, he's seen.
Right winger only though. Straight line.
Why you not? Why do you know?
Straight line.
No, but when I
Straight line.
went fullback, I was a left back though. I preferred the. I don't know
is
why.
it?
It's just weird. Yeah, it's
Interesting.
strange.
Go on, Julian. He's looking at me a bit too long though.
You're
I'm going to
stocky.
say techie. I'm going to put you a techie one, so I'm going to say.
No, you're glad that he doesn't know the truth.
Exactly. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. He went like this.
He went techie. Yeah. With them fires.
Because he said it, then this is not no disrespect. Because Steve said you don't go to the gym. I'm going to say because that must be your physically you're not right to get around. So
like
now
Gaza.
you're the techie guy.
Yeah.
Techie guy in the Sunday League team. So I say number 10.
I'm a cam.
Where do you actually play?
Cam.
You've never said that.
He don't kick ball.
Cams
Yeah,
say they're
he's
and
never.
Cams don't say they're cams.
Yeah, no.
He's never said he's played any. What position do you play?
Honestly, where do you need me?
Poe's going to be up striker. I'm going to yeah.
Look at that.
Believe it or not, he's a centre half, mate. Leggy centre half. Yeah.
Do you believe in system players?
Yes. Oh yeah, that's the thing.
And as a coach now, how
Before
do
you get there, can we please, Ellis? I like the way you just
You
rubbed
need
out
Ellis'
Ellis.
player
Yeah, like-
profile.
He tried it.
He had on pink Predators, the last picture. Pink, blue, and white. So
Left footer.
bear that in mind. Bear that in
Left
mind.
footer.
Oh, so he's got to be a forward player then. He's got to be a forward. Left foot as cultured.
No, but
Boy,
Where's
he's midfielder.
KG? Make sure someone clips that for KG. Because he just got goalkeepered off.
KG, sit down, man.
Listen, we're not picking the team. We're not picking the team to play.
Ready to win it now.
Go on, Caleb. What were you saying?
Yeah, no, I was saying, do you believe in system players? And as an England coach now, how do you facilitate system players within the team?
You give me an example. Yeah, give me an example.
We had so much attacking talent in the last thing, like Foden, like Palmer, like who do we play? And especially in this Pep system, you see like someone like Foden who's utilised like on the right, in the middle. People don't really know where his best position is. Sometimes he's played as like a false nine. And when he gets into the English setup, we're just like not really working on the right. Cole Palmer comes in, he gets a goal. People like he should start, especially in the run of form he's in now. People think he should probably start over Foden. Where do you like look at a player profile like that and be like, you're an amazing player, where do you fit in this system?
Comes like Joe Cole all over again, isn't it?
Garth Crooks.
Yeah.
Garth Crooks.
Yeah,
Well done,
yeah,
man. I love that.
That was Joe's downfall. Like Joe Cole was like a mad super talent. And
So good.
was like probably ahead of his time, but also the formations killed Joe Cole. Like the fact that we had to play 4-4-2 and you couldn't play Joe Cole in one of the three midfield or after striker was like.
Foden plays a position for City that almost don't exist for England. So it's like, it's hard to fit
Doesn't
him
exist
in.
for a lot of teams. So it's not a position. It's just getting players into areas where they can affect the game. It's like saying, it's like the Trent one. Like it doesn't have to be in midfield, but can you get him into them areas of the field where them passes can be made?
But hang on. Last two games for England. You've been there, and Carsley obviously been.
Carsley's been there. Carsley's there, and I've been
Carsley's
there.
there. Sorry, no, big up Lee, big up Lee. But Trent's had his best two England games. Like he was unbelievable. Finally got it together.
As a right back, by the way, not this DM stuff.
Now, Kazi's like, he's got a little bit of waviness. Like, he wants to play a certain way. You understand? We've seen debuts from two England players since you lot have taken over. Noni Madueke, he knows Ruby Rose, he's cold. But I want to talk about Angel Gomez.
My brother.
I want to talk about Angel Gomez. First, I'm not going to talk about the church video where they fix his leg.
Yeah, let's not.
No, they fix his
Yeah,
leg,
no,
though.
but let's
They
not even
fix
get
it.
into that.
But let's
'cause-
not get into
Why
that.
shouldn't you get into that? His life changed
No,
after that.
I don't know. I thought them
I can't
pastors were
lie.
fake.
If anyone's watching this video and they know where that church is, I need a new knee badly.
Oh, but no, I can help you with the knee. I
Listen,
can help you with the knee.
don't type in Angel Gomez Angolan church on Google, on YouTube. But all jokes aside, yeah.
Your computer will get hacked.
Yeah.
You're not joking about the church, yeah?
From what I knew of Angel Gomez, I don't know much about him, but wonder kid, so you kind of hear
100%.
about him. Kind of a final third player. Then I'm hearing about this under 21s 6 stuff.
Yeah.
Then I'm seeing clips and I'm saying, whoa.
Wavy.
And then I'm seeing it for the first team and I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's
whoa,
going
whoa,
crazy.
Did you see it in France though? In France,
No,
he's
in France,
so
he's waving
good,
off.
so
He
good.
adapted his game.
waving off.
He
He's always been a baller from anything
Yeah.
I've seen. But chat to us about that
Transition.
switch up. Yeah.
Well, listen, first of all, Carsley didn't create that. Angel did that. And
This guy's gonna go places as a manager.
Anana was leaving Lille and went Everton, but it happened in the last week of the window. So he had to go there. And he could always play there and he could always be comfortable. And like he said, in offensive positions, he's calm. But he's got a different level of calmness, deeper. And then, like you see a lot of 10s that are unreal, but the ball can't get to them. So Angel to facilitate to that.
That might start a trend, man, because I think the 6 in England is almost, wouldn't say an issue, but it's like
No, we deem it as a hard, tough tackling kind
but
of.
not that neat ball playing, like a deep lying play. So he might revolutionise the
Yeah,
game.
yeah,
Not might-
definitely.
You know, when I knew he was going to be a baller,
underway.
I done a little thing at in Manchester at the JD. Like, a lot of my fans come down and whatnot, and he was there. He was one of them.
And when we could
So
have something here.
that's when I knew. When I knew.
Could be.
When I knew when he come down and said, "Steve, can I get a photo?" I was like, "This kid's going places." Trust me.
You see the way he builds
Right
up his
out of the
story.
danger zone.
Hey, I get hooked every time, and then it's just one of these classic Steve foolishness.
And they
When you're making selections, what matters more, form or class?
Position, you'd expect them to do
In
much
it?
better, especially
Very
at
good
this
one.
level.
No, finally.
I'm here, man.
There's not one factor. There's a lot of data
Great
and
work.
also.
Yeah.
So I was about to say that it wouldn't be like class. It'd be like, like your players. Like. So that Southgate would bring certain man kind of regardless of form. Because that's they kind of play away that.
Themselves in a good
Henderson.
position.
But Southgate's gone now,
You
man.
also got to look and think them players didn't
Unable to
let
hit
him
the
down.
target.
No, 100%.
You know what I mean? So
100%,
you've got to.
The
The big
ball
players
played to a
in your
defender
club
and
team,
we're
that you be like, why
back
is he
on the
playing?
way.
But the manager gets what he needs out of him.
And
Do you know
I
what
guess
mean?
it's like
Trust him.
communication's a big aspect of football.
Oh, massive. Yeah, and just response, and especially like different times
That's a
now,
very
generations, like
dangerous
they
position here.
respond differently to. Or you get a better response or a different response from the way you interact with them and communicate to
Your
them.
opponents will just cross their
Like
arms and let
stat
them have
driven.
it.
As like
Individual
even before
as a
coach.
selection
From this
Yeah,
position.
like yeah.
That
Individual,
attack
yeah.
ended
Nah,
neatly.
I'm aware of
That's
stats,
a
but
great move to find
I
the
also
space in behind.
can
Oh,
see
that's it.
things that are transferable. So when you see players and you're like, oh, that's sick, I'm like, yeah, but that doesn't work at the level we need to use him at. Or that
What a
works,
finish.
and then you can go.
Is it bikinis? That's Dan's bikini thing, where the stats look great, but
Because it's
underneath
interesting that you
it
were saying that,
all.
because I was thinking about, I remember when Steve McLaren got the job for England, they were all talking about he's got to do something monumental when he comes in. He drops David Beckham, everyone speaks about it. And I was thinking, I wonder if Lee Carsley's going to go down a similar route. Then
just
the
won the
Republic of
ball. It
Ireland
was a
game, I
good
see
challenge.
Grealish playing number 10.
Class.
And I'm thinking, is this going to work? It was absolute class. Now, the reasons why I had that level of thinking was taking a look at Trent playing centre
Choppy
midfield for
play there,
England
but they won
previously and
possession
pretending that
again.
it worked in my mind when in actual reality I didn't think it was actually
Takes
that
a
good.
shot.
What is like the
my, what a
thought and the process when it comes to making a decision like we're going to make Grealish, who's not even in the Manchester City starting lineup, play the number 10 for England in our
Yeah,
first
again,
game?
circumstances, like you got to look and think Cole was injured, Phil wasn't selected, Jude was injured, so now you're down to a different number of different personnel. So it's like, well, who can do it? Who's played the minutes? Jack had been playing the minutes in pre-season. There's a lot of players that hadn't played any pre-season due to the tournament. So them things are factors, and Jack can play there. Do you know what I mean? Like he'd play there, so it wasn't like a new formation. He wasn't saying go and play
You can
right
just
back.
sense
It was
the
like, and then
drama
the Trent
coming.
thing was,
What a match
Trent can
so
operate in
far.
midfield. It's just getting him the space, and how do we get the
it was so
opposition
close,
to
but you could see what they were
not
trying to do.
worry about, or not allow their midfield to worry about Trent.
Good,
It's now
probing
their
pass.
wingers got to worry about Trent, who doesn't want to
Cross
do that.
taken
So again,
quickly.
it's just
Well, there you have
finding
it. Better safe than sorry,
the solution to put the players in the areas where they're most dangerous.
Is there
Good
any
looking move
players in
here.
that? Did you play with Jack Grealish?
Great
Okay, so
bit
that's
of
one you've coached
defensive
and you're
work.
now played with.
And we're
Played
going
with the
the
coach.
other way
Anyone else?
quickly, could be dangerous.
Because obviously you would have had the
This
younger
could
teams
be it.
before, so you wouldn't have played with these
Great
players.
Nah,
stop
yeah, I
with
don't
the
play with a lot. I don't
goalkeeper
play
doing
against
all the
like
work
Stone
around
Kane.
here.
Nah, play with Kyle
Here comes the attack.
Walker, but he
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
in the squad.
Oh, right. Yeah. Who else would there be? Pretty much it, innit?
You was just
That's
talking
a
about
corner,
players
maybe?
getting
A
minutes.
good
Whenever
chance
there's
to
like
pull
big
ahead.
tournaments coming up, has there ever been managers from
And they
England in
played
the past
short.
that have like said to other players like, oh, if you want to play in this tournament,
Ball back to
you're
the
gonna have to
defense.
think about maybe trying to get a move.
Well, that's the thing. So when I won't talk on anyone else I don't know, but when I was like in the
If you want
England
to,
squad,
you know, this is a safe
Decided to
space.
keep it simple on the free kick.
It's not, is it? It's not. We've got a lot of people in trouble.
yeah, I know it. Nah, so when I was at City and I like we played the Euros and I was in the team, and then I thought, so like I played in the City team that
That
like won the
attack
league and that, and then I
ended
thought, wow,
neatly.
kind of done that, achieved that now. So now I want to stay in
They're
the
starting to
England
move
team,
up.
and I was rotating a lot.
They don't just see the way that he
Been
just
quite
flex
a
winning the
match,
league.
this
It's like,
one so
yeah,
far.
you're just moving on
Half
from
of the
that.
time.
A couple of times.
Already gone.
Nah.
Simple
But,
shot
but it was like I
requires a
phoned,
simple
I phoned the manager, so it was Roy Hodgson and Gary Neville, and
Oh,
was like,
there's
I
a
got
ton
the
of
opportunity
options
to
in there.
leave. Sorry, I got the opportunity to leave City in January. It was like because I wanted to keep my England place. So it was like, what's more important, me playing for City and being rotated and playing a handful of games, whatever. And then Gary Neville was like, oh nah, stay there. Rather you play for Man City and get some Champions League games and then play the 38
Well,
Premier
the
League
cross
games that could
goes
have
in,
played.
but no one there to get
Didn't
it
play
on the
again?
other end of it.
Yeah, no.
Beautiful
fuming.
ball to split the
But like you
defense.
asked the question, you know what I
Really
mean?
good
Because depending on what
chance
you want to achieve, like I said, club level, I'd kind of tick the boxes. I didn't think I was going to tick anyway. So my next ambition was like, I want to stay in the England team to the World Cup.
Was there ever a moment in your career where you was like, obviously becoming a footballer is most young boys in England, that's your dream, but once you're there, you're
What
like, okay,
an
I'm in the mix now,
elegant
and you're
way
just
to
getting on with
defend
it.
a
Was there any
golden
point in your career where you was like, I
And they
didn't
could
think
be
I was going
through
to get
here.
this far?
And they've just
I've got a
missed
follow-up.
that one.
Not in an arrogant way, no, because I
Quick
knew I
ball
was
out,
willing to
we're
do
moving it.
whatever it was going to take.
Like me.
Like I knew
They fire it.
like when I was at
Simple
school,
save for the keeper, really.
I knew I was going to play football. Just because I just wanted
Moving
to
the
play
ball
football
well here.
without all the
Only
glamour
the
that
keeper
come
in
with
the
it,
way
without
now.
knowing. Because again, when we were young, it wasn't documented. Like none of that stuff was. You didn't know what anyone drove, where they lived, what they earned. It was just I was gonna play football. I was gonna wear a kit on a Saturday and just, you know what I mean, that was gonna be my job. So that was determination. And then you get to it, it's like
Back
I
in
just
the
gotta
center
keep
of the park.
doing what I was doing. Obviously, to find a way to do it at a higher
Playing
level,
the
but
possession
keep doing what I
game,
was doing,
moving the
and then
ball around,
And was
waiting
there like
for
a
an
big
out.
shift? Because like now there's a lot of
Beautiful
players
stop,
where
but
they
the ball
say,
flows
okay,
again.
technically you're good
Nice
enough, but now you're
touch
going
to
to
see
have to
the
bulk
running
up. Like, I see
behind.
Cole Palmer.
oh
There's
yeah,
still
now
danger here.
I was
That was a decent
talented,
save by the
but
keeper.
I wasn't an
I can't believe
athlete.
they just
So
wasted
like when I was
golden
transitioning
opportunity.
from Wolves to Everton and going into the Prem, I got a sprint coach and
There it
all
is in the
that
middle
stuff.
of the
So I was
park.
aware that I needed to improve athletically as well.
Reeling it back to certain players when they get to they achieve maybe what they thought
This
they would. Like,
possessed cleanly.
they're the max. They've got a bar and they've set that right. So I want to ask you this:
Well, they've begun
before
to
we
build
spoke
up.
about Saudi, would you go Saudi? I think Miles might have asked the question, and you said yeah. We've
Great
now moved
bit
on
of
from.
defensive
It was quite
work.
early doors then.
Great play, that counter looks
Ivan
good.
Toney's gone.
And they're through here.
What's your thoughts on players that go Saudi now? Still saying go.
I think it's impossible to make that decision without having the options. Without knowing the options is there like that. I don't know what he's earning.
Can they put
Tony
it
or anyone,
away?
but I can't imagine I can't imagine it's like close to anything that anyone was offering around here. Do you know what I mean? And like he said, his ambition might have been to play for England in a
They
tournament.
might be onto something.
He's done
What
that.
an elegant
I'm not saying he
way
can't
to
do it again,
defend a
but
golden
that might have been. So
opportunity.
now it's like, okay, now my
Nice
goals
looking move.
or my objectives change. Or
Score 10 plus goals in Prem, play
Whatever it is.
England tournament.
whatever it may have been, he may have set that and ticked that box. So I was saying, yeah.
But you
What's
see
right
the
for you?
money situation
Back
now.
underway.
If you're being honest in your heart of hearts, you can literally change every single family member.
Could be a real chance
It's
here.
hard to like 400
Really
bags
good
a week.
start.
or something.
But Oscar's done
They're in
that for
possession
what,
again.
6 years, and now he's coming back.
That's not
Look at that.
like
They might turn
400
this into
grand.
something.
Like when people see 400 grand in the Prem, you're like, and it's a hell of a lot of money. They're coming for half. They ain't coming for half over there. You're taking it all.
It's a thing of beauty.
That's a big difference.
Your family's got a couple fringe players. There's always a cousin
That's a
that you're like,
threatening ball.
I still ain't taking care of him though.
Yeah.
I'm still not taking care of him. No fringe players are getting taken care of. I don't care if I'm 400. What you talking about?
You can't get older yet.
Guy, he works in the chippy, fam.
In America, they don't even have that option. Like, they just have to do it, man. So you got people that got like
Yeah,
24
cousins,
cousins, brothers.
They're all deep.
And that's why a lot of these
They're all
NFL players go broke, man, because they do look after their fam. Unlike you.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you didn't get to coach Kobe Manu in the 21s.
No.
He went from the
Playing the
18 straight to
possession
senior,
game,
right?
moving the ball around, waiting for
That's
an
mad.
opening.
Mad.
That's mad. How
Back
comfortable
in
is it in the
possession
seniors?
again.
Very
And wait,
comfortable.
we could have something
Very.
here.
To be fair, the most
Looking move.
like I've seen him play and stuff. I've seen it obviously before I got to work with him. But then I was doing a game, Man United versus Wolves, and he scored that mad goal
Last minute, yeah.
And I heard his interview,
They're in a good
and I
position.
just knew from that
Could be a
interview,
chance.
now I get why you play like that, because you are that mature, you understand, you speak a certain way that makes me know you see the game differently to the average 18-year-old at the time. So I'm not surprised.
At what point, see, back to class and form, what point does the Man United form become a question mark to you?
Form of him at United.
Yeah, well, the form of the team.
But the team's different because we're not selecting the team. We're not.
Yeah. I don't want to single it to him, but
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, I'm not selecting the team. We're selecting individuals from a team. So what we're asking our midfielders to do, he may be doing it every week and every opportunity, because what Tanag is asking him to do is different. It's like, and no, I'm not Tanag, but any manager, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, the six's job is to get it to the 8 or the 10. He's doing that. So then you play for England or whatever that may be.
Do you see him as a 6? Manu.
I think it's difficult. I think to pigeonhole individuals, just midfielders now, because I think the way Declan Rice plays is totally different to the way he's perceived, and the way where at West Ham, everything went through Declan Rice, where through Arsenal it's totally different. Do you know what I mean? So again, I don't think it's a 6, 8, 10. I think it's who gets on the ball in the areas that you need them to.
Are you still banging FIFA?
Not as much.
Jesus
I ain't
Christ.
got the new one.
What's the matter with that, Steve-O?
What?
What happened? So,
Are you still banging? I'm like, whoa, chill out, man. Chill out.
You thought FIFA?
We're too grown for that.
You thought FIFA some girl from down the road or something?
Come on, my brother.
Brother, we're family. Oh, no, I'm not no more.
You're not family friendly?
I'm not family man no more.
Oh, you and Caleb
What you
allow
want?
it,
The
man.
children
What's
are here.
going on,
Oh,
man?
dude.
What is...
And you can talk to
Only
me about it.
Hey, not that one.
like obviously you've played in some crazy teams.
Yeah, with some mad players.
And there's some players like, obviously I've never played anywhere near the level that you've played at, but there's players where you're just like, you have to be able to do what you want.
Oh,
for
100%.
for
Yaya
the
Toure.
team. Yeah. So I didn't even get to finish the question. He's that guy.
Yaya Toure, if he played well, we won the game. And he did whatever he wanted to do.
And was he a joke in training as well? Was it
No,
just-
no. He didn't train like that. He couldn't. It would be a lot of work to train like the way he played. Sergio didn't train like that.
I've seen enough pictures of him just baking off at training.
The one that was trained the way he played, and it was unreal. So he's the best. Yaya's the best player I played with.
David Silva.
Best footballer was David Silva.
I want to ask one question just about the England setup again, because it is really, really dope that you've gone from under 21 into the England job. I kind of want to know about something that Geordie touched upon, which is the media responsibility married with the job. Because I remember Thierry Henry was going on Sky Sports saying things about Theo Walcott, and then he had to go and be the coach at the training ground right afterwards. How difficult is it for your job to be the media personality that you are, but then be the England coach? So when you see, for example, no disrespect Man United fans, but you know I'm on you. You see brown hair Marcus Rashford maybe not doing the things that he was doing once upon a time. How difficult is it for you to be harsh on television knowing that you may have him in the next squad?
I don't. To be fair, before England, that wasn't my role as a pundit to be harsh. Just be fair and find ways for, in great respect, people that haven't played to understand why he may be doing them things. Yeah. It's not a case of he should be doing this. He should be. No, that's not for me.
Some people are just sensitive. You could actually say something in a nice way, and they could take it a particular way. So do you have to?
That wasn't. But the way I'm trying to articulate it would be a way of he would understand that it's not, and this isn't, let's say, a Marcus Rashford thing. This is any one of the players I've spoke about. It's like, well, that's the wrong decision for this reason. The outcome was this. He should have maybe tried it this way, and just be constructive about it rather than be, because I think there's a lot of pundits that are personal and want to be heard for them reasons. I'm not like, that isn't my objective.
Do you lot listen to music in England dressing room?
Them boys do, yeah.
Who runs that iPod?
There's a few different things. I think it's changed over the time. I think, and again, this is from my experience, like you'd have someone that may address it all, and then if different on a tournament, you tend to all have like 2 songs that you add, so it could be, and it's not too random.
Every player's got 2 songs.
It's not too random in English when you're away with England, but like club level, when we was all like going away with like City, and there's like different cultures and all sorts, it's popping off.
But I heard
random.
Pickford's music's mad. Like,
I heard Thomas Rosicki's playlist is nothing that the man can understand.
If you could pick 2 songs to go on the England playlist, what are you picking?
Both of mine. I need the streams.
If you said that you would have given money to your cousin, I would have picked 2 of your songs as well. But I
Why?
know that,
Your cousin's not my cousin.
but I know that you wouldn't share with the man then.
exactly.
But why'd you care about my cousin?
No, because we don't care about your cousin. We care about you as a person.
I'm a great
Nah,
person.
but
you know
his
that.
cousin might not have the relationship you have with yours.
Yeah, Lippy. No, don't worry.
Alright,
But I'm putting
help me, bro.
2 garage rhythms.
putting 2 guys rhythms.
Yeah.
KG.
He wore the United shirt.
Oh my gosh.
My United shirt. What you think? No, yeah, we do. Terrible.
Sorry.
I was there. Funny enough,
our
you've got
game
one
as
of the
well.
Spartan hats on.
Yep.
Joe, obviously to celebrate you
#ad.
Oh my gosh.
promoted into the first team England.
Oh, thank you, sir. I'll get these out. Definitely rock these.
Imagine he said, yeah, give them to Noni and
You
give
didn't
them
get
to Noni and Jared.
you didn't get a good look at me because I had the bike in my hand, so you didn't see the pace and like the agility. You see, I ran to the
Pace would have
seat.
been walking in or running in rather than on the
No,
bike.
because I had a bike before. It was a matting, but just now I done a short sprint.
He said
Well,
that you
he's-
look like a goalkeeper.
No, but again, he did. I had a bike in it, so he was distracted.
Wait, is that top coming your size or?
Bro, are we starting to this today? Are we starting to this today? Because I'm ready.
To this today is crazy.
I'm ready. Hurt people, and I'm ready to hurt people, bro. I'm in a bad way, bro. Is that what we're doing?
Right, we're not doing that. I'm
I just
sorry.
want to know.
You know, I want to touch on quickly, yeah.
Exactly. Phew.
I remember from watching you, I was saying it to my brethren the other day, like, Jolien, I just remember Jolien Lescott celebrating a lot. Like, so let's check how many goals he scored.
Brother.
And we were shocked.
Go on. Go on.
We were,
go on,
bro.
Go on.
I think 07, 08, 8 league goals, 10
Yeah.
in all comps.
Yeah, man.
That's not
mad.
a joke, bro.
4 assists.
See?
So it's goal involvements now. It's goal involvements now. Yeah,
That's Hoyland numbers.
He was a winger
no
though.
free kicks, no pens.
That's Hoyland numbers is crazy.
Yeah, no, guys, remember, you going crazy.
Yeah, to be fair, there was a spell. That was yeah. So my best performances were that time.
Yeah,
Probably at
yeah,
Everton.
you were serious.
Like collectively, like yeah, City, you winning stuff. It's different. My requirements were different there, but as an individual at Everton,
Nah, was
we
that
doing
always
numbers?
a thing? Did you grow up kind of scoring goals, or was just
I used to play. I didn't play at the back,
okay?
and then obviously
Where
went
was
there.
you? Where was you?
Midfield.
Where in midfield?
Like box to box, like Paul Ince, man. Paul Ince days, because there weren't no 10-8. It was just everyone was in midfield. You sit in midfield and you ran up and down.
Wait, where did you start playing football? Like, what position did you start?
Striker. I went all the way back. They didn't put
I
me in
think
goal.
everyone did that.
Yeah, man.
Everyone
Yeah.
from that time, it was like everyone started up front, and then you got to the age of where they realised there was someone better
I
than
was
you.
quick. And then someone
Someone
comes.
better than you.
Can I ask? I have to ask about United because you know Omar Baradi was at the club. Yeah. So what do you reckon is going through his mind? It's the Man United CEO at the moment. What do you reckon is going through his mind looking at the results at Man United have been crazy? I'm talking Spurs have done it, Liverpool have done it. We still got Man City we still got to play Man City, Arsenal. We got a lot of teams to play. Is he the kind of CEO that's gonna, I don't know, panic, but you reckon he's gonna start looking around? Will he start to
In terms of looking around, what
for a new manager?
Let me ask you a better question. Yeah? You're playing now. You got United, for anyone, yeah?
Okay.
You got United next week, and they're moving like
not
this.
the same, is it?
How you feeling, bro? How you feeling? How was Old Trafford back then?
Yeah, Old Trafford back in the day.
That's a bad mind question as well, by the way.
Old Trafford back in the day, yeah. But listen, you go there and you're hoping Rooney's not playing. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think there's like they've got that same fear. But I think the environment isn't the same. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they had 10, 11 world stars. It's not that.
Who's that geezer though?
He's the new CEO.
So he was a CFO, so he was at City, so he run like, not just like he was part of the organisation, so like City Football Group and other teams as well. But yeah, he's serious at what he does.
You know what you could do?
Serious.
10 hard goals.
No, don't do it to yourself.
I mean, let's go out, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Fast as well. As soon as he announced, let's go out.
3, 2, would you start lower levels as a manager? League Twos.
I don't want to be a manager.
Don't want to be a manager.
Why?
Okay.
It's a lot of time, man.
Yeah. Life.
I understand that I'm not going to love anything as much as playing. And to give something more time than I did when I was playing.
Mental.
Yes.
Because obviously, if he becomes a manager, we don't get to play the game we play when we go out. You know the game we play.
Oh, the cheers game.
Oh, so
Big games.
He loves that game.
The big bad game. Yeah.
keeper's happy
We're
to
trying to
get the
get
ball
people.
rolling. Oh, this could be trouble.
Yeah, this is cool.
Let's get back in the car 1 minute, boys.
Yeah, exactly. Pull it in.
In the under-21s today, is there 5 players we should be looking out for?
Well, there's a lot.
You say there's about
There's a lot more.
there's about
12.
Look at attack here.
Obviously, but
The ball in
if
attacking
I'm going to give you the
position.
names, you're not going to be surprised. You would have seen them and you're going to know them. Like I say, Morgan
That
Rogers,
attack
you're like,
ended
right, yeah.
neatly.
You know what I mean? So I'm not going to be able to give you surprise names.
Have you got a surprise name?
Minute. No.
No.
Was there anyone that you was when you was at the 21s that you might have been looking down at under 18s or something? That hasn't quite burst onto the scene yet.
I think that's a lot different 18s, 21s, because then probably not in the
Well,
first
there you
team
have it,
environment,
better safe
so you
than
don't
sorry,
even know.
right?
They don't even know a lot about themselves then. But the
Look at the-
21s
get the
is like
ball going.
you're in and around the first team. So that's kind of going back to I think it was your question, Lippy, about how you select. That was a lot
It's a
difficult there
corner kick
because
here. Not that they
you could have
need
someone
it.
that's
They're
playing every week in the
ready ahead.
Championship, and then you have
They play it
Harvey
quickly
Elliott
there.
that's playing minutes for Liverpool, and then minutes
Back to the
equate to
middle.
a lot more than 5-6 games in the
Look at
champ.
that
You know
move.
what I mean?
Incredible
So
skill.
So in your 21 days, was there players
Keeper hand
further
over
down that
the
you was looking at, just like, let's say, Nwaneri, Ethan? He's still a young boy, to be fair.
yeah, but a lot of them, yeah, he would have been 12. You know what I mean? Like, so you can't look that far because, as I said, we've got a version of him that he's playing.
Have you
So
seen much of him?
yeah, I've seen enough to know that he's comfy. You know what I mean? He's going to be a baller. But that was, what position was that? Left wing, right wing? So that was
Tackling the
Money
one they got.
and Harvey.
Forget about
So
it.
should he have played ahead of them? And you know what I mean? Like and I say this all the time. Like when Phil Foden was young, people say he should play more minutes. I'm saying,
Oh, wow.
well,
They
you ask him
tested
to
the
play ahead
keeper on
of
that
David
one.
Silva. Like, should he play ahead of David Silva at 18? Probably not. You know what I mean? So
Good job by the
you have to
ref
respect the
upstairs,
players
calling
that,
it
as
offside.
great as he is, as good as he's going to be, whatever.
They're just trying
There's
to
someone
find a
that's
teammate right
actually
there.
doing it.
This is one of the best generations of like England teams that we've seen, like
Back
with
in
the
the
players.
center of the park.
Do you see any deficiencies in certain
Well, look
positions
out there in the
that,
stands,
like,
he's gonna
I guess
fire.
you'd look to like the under 21s, the younger people, the younger players for, like, to fill in those
quick
gaps?
pass,
Because
and
I
we're
think in
moving
the last England squad, we're out a left back,
That's a
like a natural
well-worked
left
ball.
back, and there was a lot of complaints
Oh, they
about
got
that.
the ball
But
back, and there's a
were,
chance.
as you in the system now, you're looking towards like a
Quick
Lewis
change
Hall's
of
no,
direction
but he
here
can
now.
play. But
Get
again,
the score
obviously,
from here now.
there comes like
Look at that goal!
he's played for Newcastle this season, so I'm sure if he continues to play for Newcastle, then he breaks into England. Do you know what I mean? There has to be a period of time you have to allow them to improve. You can't just, well, he's played 5-6 games, so now he's England internationals. No,
Just to let you know, I'm very comfortable. Just
Stepping up.
You got the knees, you got the knee issues though.
yeah,
bro.
yeah, that's the bit I've got to tell them. Yeah, you need a new knee.
You got knee. You got
That's
knee
what he said.
issues.
Jesus.
He wants the prayers.
Oh, he said he's gonna sort me out.
I
with
can help you.
the person that sorted
Yeah.
out
And they
Gomez.
played
We're
from the
good.
corner.
I'll be 2026. I'll be flying.
Do you guys look at like what
And it goes
Spain
out of
did
bounds
in
for
the
a
last
throw.
tournament and think, we need to copy that because
How comes you're always late though?
I'm not always late.
How
Don't
come-
do that.
he tried his best.
And that's it.
Bro, I there's no car, bro.
It's my Man United brother. Fam.
After the car, got on a line bike. Do you know how dedicated I was?
What you parked up how far away? In South?
I had to
horrible
park up
at
20
playing.
minutes
And
away
I
because there's
gotta
no
tell you,
parking in this area.
United
Bun
would've
East
done better
London,
than
no
that.
disrespect.
I came from Berlin and I was here.
That
before.
Like-
attack
like-
ended
He came from Manny.
neatly.
He came from Manny.
Bro, I just come from Thailand, bro.
Come on, hey, you lot are studying right now. All I'm saying is, a long journey, Blackwall Tunnel, very difficult.
Just
fam, but I
decided
got
to use
here.
the body
So you're back
now,
for
huh?
you took it back for the tunnel.
Do you lot care about me though? Like my team's getting through it, bro. My team's getting through it, and this is what we.
No, we
can't-
love you.
I
Ask your
told you
question.
this would happen, though. I told you this.
Don't worry, don't worry.
Dangerous
Ask your question.
Question's gone, bro.
I tell him, big old.
No, I was
And
talking
ball
about
goes
you know
out
how
for
we
a
just
corner.
copy a team does well, and then everyone does that. So I know with the inverted, everyone's playing their wing backs inverted. Is that a thing now when we're looking at Spain? We're saying, you know what, the same Spain model that they did, we're going to roll out in England.
No, not necessarily. Again, because their player profile is different, and then where their strength players are probably different to ours. Do you know what I mean? Like Rodri is arguably the best, so they have to build it around that potentially, or whatever.
But is that Yamal and Jack?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Wingers, you can keep the width the same. There's probably principles in their philosophy that other teams use, and it's not copying Spain. It's just a thing.
Keepers
Talking
ready to
about,
get things
there was
going.
a trend on Twitter, and they was showing old goals
Barclays men.
and talking about
And the play
rivalry.
goes
and
the
it's
other way
not
now.
the same anymore. Do you
There's
think
an
that
opening
players
on the
are now
wing
looking
here.
at social media and people say, "Oh, they're, Pep Guardiola's killed the game. Everyone's passing, playing out from the back."
Hey, the
Like,
counter
bro, I
could be
got to
on
take
in
this
this
into my
one.
own hands.
Look
Like, we've
at
seen a
that,
lot
they're
of goals in the
carrying
last
it
2
forward.
weeks. People just smashing it from the edge of the box.
Yeah, you see, there's a
Hey,
lot less
bigger.
of them goals, isn't it? So when you do see them, you probably highlight it a bit more. But
Let's
yeah, I
mark
think
him
the
in
game
the
has
back.
Do it. Just pass the ball.
gone more
Great
down the
chance
system
against the
route
keeper.
now, where systems
seen in my
are
town, this is a
more
key to the
dominant
keeper.
than individuals. Then when you do see an individual like Cole, you're like, rah.
I think that the systems
they
are
play
more
short.
obvious because it's harder to do. But
I
when I
done
was
it big
younger, I'm
off.
sure it's similar to you.
That's when
There's
they
times
put
when I
them
got
in
taken
goals
off
to do
because
those
they'll say,
kind of
"Okay,
plays.
when you're on the
One for a
left,
corner."
when you get to the edge of the box, you have to cross
They
it."
decide to play
And
a
I've
short
beaten a player,
corner.
and I'm like,
Another big
taken
challenge,
off.
but
I've
no
never-
infringement
never
this
got
time.
but I feel like the systems.
Ball played short.
Bring it to someone else with that one. Yeah.
You and KG, bro.
Wait, you lot never got dropped in a game?
Never ever
Midfield.
captained every team. Never sub. Played 90 minutes every game. That's why my knees sore.
That's facts to everyone at the table. You lot never been dropped. You lot
They've all been
lying.
dropped.
I've been
He's
dropped.
been dropped and he
Great
made it.
They've all been
You
dropped.
man are scrubs. You man are scrubs. Bro, he's been dropped.
Yeah, but he's
and
playing.
made
No, but
it.
he's
He
playing
might
with
be onto
pros,
something.
bro. I'm
That was a
playing with
well-won
man that's
ball.
bunning cigarette.
Yeah, no, it's mad.
But when you was younger, say if you was playing that
They're
county,
playing it back,
if
maybe
your
too
coach is saying to
cautious.
do something, if
Playing
you
it
don't
back
do
with
it, they're not
caution.
subbing you.
Nah, but I county. I was coming on.
So you never got dropped.
So you didn't get dropped. You just
And
didn't
that's
start.
truly
It's true.
not.
Borough though,
That's the
Borough. They
keeper.
could have dropped me. Are you crazy?
Wait, Steve-O, you're gonna stay. You're gonna stick to that. You've never been dropped and you started every
Quick
game.
ball out,
You
we're
told me
moving
that
it.
you got dropped down to the youth and we never saw
he
you
said he
again.
come up.
On the halfway
I said I
point.
never went back to the youth team.
Doing
I said
well
it wrong.
to keep
Yeah?
possession,
Up to
waiting
the
for
first, he never
defender
went
to
back.
come
He
in.
played against Zola, by the
Didn't
way.
even
Now
go
the
on
ball
tour.
will be placed at the
He's
corner
old,
of the
bro.
pitch.
He's old, man.
And then I went to non-league, and then obviously I was just top
Played
boy
it
at
close.
He
non-league.
played with Beckenbauer and them man there, bro.
Why is this old team, Steve? What was this? Why are they going to jump?
I've just hit a new age,
Keepers
and
doing
then all of a
what
sudden
they're doing
I'm
from the
old.
corner.
You know that?
What, yeah, but why does he say like, what are you 10 years younger than me?
Take that short.
10.
Oh, probably 10 years older than you.
Bro, the man is your age.
The
Bro.
big
No effort.
No,
And
no.
ball goes out for a
I'm
corner.
younger than you.
No, how old do you think Steve
I
O
thought
is?
Steve was 32.
Huh?
He just said.
Ball played
I'm
short.
32.
He just said.
Add a 10.
Oh, yeah, that's my age. Yeah. Steve.
That's an
Steve was my
amazing
age.
save.
Steve was my age.
And they're going the other way quickly. Could be
We
dangerous.
played against the same players.
Did you ever play against him?
Nah, because he's up north, innit? He's up north.
Yeah. You know, I was going to say that. Yeah, I was going to say that, but
Like
yeah.
QPR, bro. We played against Nottingham Forest. We never played against Wolves. Ever. That would have been FA Youth Cup too.
So who would you have played against them times? You must play against Sean. Right, Phillips.
Sean Wright Phillips, but I was
Well, you'll
younger.
find that out soon enough. He's coming
Yeah,
up.
facts. I'm gonna check.
He
Ball
remember
in their
me, bro. I used to
defensive
mark
area.
him at the game. But
I like this, you know.
Greedy,
Right.
Greedy was at
That's
Forest.
a keeper's job,
Craig
and they do
Westcar.
well.
Dawson, that's my
Okay.
age.
Yeah,
Ben,
Dawson, yeah.
Michael Dawson.
Michael Dawson, yeah.
the
Yeah,
keeper
Forest
in the
won the
window.
Academy Cup.
yeah. Dawson's a bit younger than us.
He's older than Jesus, 10 years, man. Okay.
So if he was younger than you, but you said that you was playing at age group up, then he was playing like what, 10 years older than you?
So,
Dawson.
Yeah.
no, I played
Dawson played up. Dawson played up.
But he's also claiming that he played up.
I played
Either
up.
Michael Dawson,
he played
the guy
up.
that made it.
I made my debut at
Almost
16.
full
So
time
something
and
is a bit
no
suspicious there,
signs
though.
of
But what is it like
relaxing here,
coaching
moving
in a
the
way
ball
you've never
well to
played?
try to find another one.
See, like Cars coaches the team. I work
Oh, it
like
was so
on
close, but you could see what they were trying to
say
do.
detail that will help players, may help players within the framework. So
There's
I'm not
an
actually
opening in
saying,
the
well,
wing
you
here.
put the ball up here. I'm saying, well, okay,
That attack ended
this gives you more
neatly.
options.
And
Like,
that's
so
it. There it goes. That's the final
instance,
whistle of the match.
when
And
the
what
ball's
a
here, drop
game
5.
we just
not
witnessed.
necessarily
Was a
that, but just say, okay,
5-1
identify
complete
well. If
domination.
you're a striker, like say I worked with Flo Balogun, and it was like, oh, you receive the ball like this. This is how you want to receive it. So as a defender, if I'm playing against you, I know I don't need to worry about going that side because the way you receive the ball with the outside of your foot, you can't go to your left. So think about receiving it this way. So now as a defender, I have to come back both ways, which gives you more options rather than say taking it how you want to be and take it how what's comfortable for you. But now I know I need to mark you on the outside because you can only go that way. So it's just working with players on an individual basis.
How far do you
mainly.
think this style of football, how long do you think it holds its place, basically?
A while.
Where does it go? Like, do we actually clock playing out from the back every time? Like, is that gonna? Will we make that happen? Because at the moment, it's not happening. Not every time.
No, it's never going to happen every time.
Exactly. So,
No. Yeah, but kicking it long doesn't guarantee
Getting
every
onto the
time.
seconds, mate.
It's just finding a way. Like you said, it's finding a way.
Get onto the seconds. No, like so they actually the seconds is their first really. Out wide, in the box.
That's old school. That's
He's a Barclays
old
man.
school,
Nah, we
though.
do that. Me and Paul, we was at the Emirates on the weekend. Raya started doing
All
that.
right, man.
I like Havertz touchline. Every goal kick was going over there. He was
Havertz is
knocking it
wicked for
down.
that as well.
Side.
Christensen?
Would have been the left back. Wouldn't have been anyone big. It was someone that he won it
And
every time.
that's the game plan. It's like recognizing, well, our strength is this, their weakness is that. Forget playing out from the back. Like, you want to play out from the back, and they got Vardy closing you down.
Also, I'm wondering if they're gonna just counter it by having like a mad front three of just pace and power merchants to just shut it down.
No, because
Having a
Leicester's
keeper.
game plan worked for a bit. You get me? But then when we realised their game plans, it's a bit effective now. That's when we went a bit doggish. Started sending it.
Like
Sending
Liverpool,
it long to
no
Havertz.
one's, you
And
don't
we
go
just-
to Anfield and start playing out from the back. Like, even Pep
Yeah.
has changed that. It's
Yeah,
like, they'll get on you, and it's a lot.
But don't forget, in my day as well, the keeper used to kick it and it'd have all like it'd be curly. Snow would get on it, it'd be horrible. Raya's now black, picking it like
flat,
perfect.
flat, yeah.
Like it's all different. Yeah.
Like Carsley aside, let's pretend he's out of this picture. Do you think you could coach? Well, someone's put a philosophy forward, and you're a coach, so you got to do the details, but you don't agree with it.
Yeah.
But you can just.
Who am I?
You're Lescott.
No, I mean, like, what? So, am I the coach and someone's got the manager?
No,
so,
someone's a manager. You're the coach.
And I
yeah.
don't believe that
You
it's the
don't-
right way. Oh, yeah, I'll coach you. That's
Yeah.
not my job to. If my job is to coach, then I will coach what the manager wants. Like,
Gritty teeth though.
no.
Does it ache?
They're professional, Geordie.
Bro, so I need to know. He's a human too, bro.
Yeah, but that's like saying like I watch things and work with players that do things I wouldn't necessarily do. Obviously, a lot of things I can't do. But in terms of that, it's like, well, that's not for me to decide. It's like, what does the manager want? The manager's asking us to do that, and then you do it.
Quickly touching back on systems, you know that certain international teams, they'll have like their star players that they'll build around. Do you think it's difficult when you have a team filled with so many stars to sort of just like highlight all of their strengths and to try, because you can't really build around like a team with maybe like 8 big stars in
Yeah.
it. How do you accommodate like within a system like the star players and the ones that you want to shine that might change the game for you?
That's the $1 million question, isn't it? Like, that's who knows that? Like, probably Pep. But again, you probably pick players that will be more effective in them games. So it's like, okay, we're playing wherever it may be. Like, say Arsenal, say Saliba and Gabriel, their best players. Maybe it's not Haaland that affects the game the most. Maybe it's someone else. It's Bernardo Silva. So you just figure out who we're playing, who's the opponent, and then who's going to be more effective.
And you prioritize who's going to be the
You
most.
would, you would have to say that the game plan would be around that, yeah.
The way that they're building out staff now, like Arsenal, that set piece guy, but he's changed Arsenal, bro.
Yeah. A manager doesn't have the time to do everything.
Even I done my level 1 coaching badge, and the guy's like, just work with a left back or just a CDM.
Bro.
Man, talk about a level 1, you know.
Yeah, no way.
I know, man.
You are dying for him to give you a job.
No, but it's not that. Can I say something?
Promoting strengths and weaknesses in that, bro. Man's in here saying, raw, I got a level 1.
We're probably on the same
Attention
badges.
to details and that.
What you
I
on?
really like to say badges,
Nah?
Steve.
I got my. You ready for B?
Hey.
Bro, man, allow Lescott, innit? Just leave Lescott alone, please.
Wait. But before we move on, I want to ask you about just apologies, player apologies online. You know, when a game is rubbish, the players do like it's a terrible game. Do you
He's
believe
asking
in the
for
players?
advice, basically.
No, do you believe in the players getting on social media, writing a long message? Sorry, guys, we let you down. Or do you reckon it's a thing that you should just show it in the next game?
Do I think they care or believe, or do I think they mean it?
Yeah, like
Of course.
But do you stand by it? Like these players putting out their apologies? Do you think it's a
up
good
to them? It's up for them. Like their relationship with their fans is different to mine. Like I never tweeted after games. I know I got done for one tweet, but if you look at the history of like my career and social media, I know it wasn't the whole time, but I never bought into the thanks and all that stuff after a game, whether it was win, lose or draw. I was too focused on my outcome.
Do you
I
think
was
that's
from a different
hurting the
era.
players now, though? Do you think the social media element and them
but
having to talk
of course
to
it
them?
is, but it's also helping them.
Has anything shocked you in the promotion? So going from 21s to senior, has anything shocked
Just
you?
the scale of it, you just remember like probably a lot of it when I was playing, you just take it for granted. But like the staff, the amount of staff, obviously they have to help them.
They
and-
put in is there any UEFA B licensed coaches? No.
Yeah, no, I don't think.
You're not allowed.
Yeah,
I think
sure.
the highest level you can do with B is like League One, maybe.
Yeah,
you
cause
could
maybe.
look around there.
Yeah.
What can you do with a level 1? Just schools and that, innit?
Yeah, I think just podcasts.
I know you're in an interim position at the moment, sort of there. But is there anything that you're looking at, like as a team, a coaching team,
I'm doing good. How about you?
improve on from the last like Euros and try to implement to get us to that next level, like to be able to like win?
That's a lot. Like first, get the job full time first. You know what I mean? So we just focus on having a similar camp to the last camp, and sometimes that's improvement. Like I think again, I can speak on him because I know him. Like, Cole Palmer exceptional last year, and people say, "Oh, how does he get better?" It's like, no, he doesn't need. Maybe he doesn't need to get better. Maybe he just needs to do the same thing as he's done. Like, doesn't always have to be. Now he scored 20, and now he's got to get to 25. No, do 20 again. Like Lampard,
I've never packed Messi in my
hit
life.
them heights and stayed at
No,
them
I
heights
have. What am I
for
saying?
a period of time, which meant he was regarded as one of the greatest, rather than just going on and on and on, it never stopping.
So right now is just like a good time as like
Dude,
to,
why
for
do
you guys
people
to
do
look
that?
and
Why
sort
do
of just
people
like
put my
play a
hat?
profile,
What
just
does
be
that
like, all right,
mean?
cool, let's just bring some new blood into the
Other
team.
people
This
have
is
done
how
that, but I don't
they
get
work
it.
again.
Yeah, I think that was part of the decision making process. Like after tournaments, you always look to think, well, who's fresh and up and coming, and obviously Kars has worked with majority of all of them.
My bad.
So
Yeah.
it
Do
helps.
anyone else think Caleb's
no.
jacket's awful?
Do you remember
I
the
tried.
Fimbles?
Yeah, I remember
But no.
It's like a cashmere number, though, isn't it?
You look like the Fimbles, bro.
All right, because I didn't want to have to do
It's
this.
like a cashmere.
What's it? Look.
You got
I'll turn it down.
on your breast.
It's Billy's.
So I don't care if it's Billy's.
Nah,
or
I
not.
don't
You got
stream
hoops
every
on your
day.
breast, bro. This
the only
is
one I can.
Nike from.
you on me? I'm not even.
This is Nike from '99.
I guess it'd be like every other day, every 2 days.
Bro, let's go. We're still
I don't
playing.
know.
Man, release this one, bro.
I have been streaming other past ones.
Vintage. That Adidas has 3Ds in it.
We're gonna start. Don't try it because you look like you don't know what you want to be, bro. It says zip up, but it's kind of cashmere as well.
Bro, you got mesh on your
Cashmere.
trousers, bro. Caleb's
Man,
jeans are
talking about
wild. Bro, you got
cashmere.
3 types of mesh on your thing. You got mesh in the hood as well.
Shit, telling me to play rivals.
Bro, your name will be rooted if you're a roadman because it's mad. It looks
My
like
name would be
you,
what?
Rude
look,
man.
Your situation is cashmere, but it's hoodie. It's hoodied and that. Roots, bro. I don't even understand what you're doing.
You knew
today.
Lescott was
Real
coming.
talk.
Because I didn't come color coordinated like let's go.
In this economy, in this economy, you done a mad thing today, bro.
Blaming the government.
Like this is supreme. This is a nice little number. Yeah, man.
I'm not a fashion guy, mate, but I like it.
Okay,
Hopefully
yeah,
it
man.
goes.
Hey, you see the way that he dodged that?
Detail tick.
I love it.
Detailed thing.
And you know he put it out the day before, said, "Hey, Lescott's gonna love."
Yeah, you laid that out on the bed like this.
Hey.
You laid that out on the
He's
bed
gonna
like
say,
this.
"Where did you get that thing from?" Say, Supreme, you know,
Let's watch this.
Allow
I
it,
don't
big
have much to
man.
work with. My box is a bit loose as well, but we move, man.
bro.
What the
Listen.
heck is this boy talking about?
Are we
Have
talking
you got a
about
cat?
United?
Have you got a cat? Have you got a cat or
Because I've got like this is me at the game when
just
I'm just
bare
tearing
claws?
it,
Like.
Wait a second. Why does everyone have hats on?
The hairlines are crazy. The hairlines are crazy. Hair.
Why you not got a hat on?
Because my hairline's calm, bro. My hairline's calm, bro.
Before we wrap this up, I want to ask let's go about dark arts because the media keeps.
What's dark arts?
Arsenal, what they say. Arsenal do.
Are you for or against dark arts?
for it, man. I've been part of.
He's from that era. He's from Brum, bro. He's from Gotham City, bro.
Talk to us about. You said you've been a part of the dark
No,
arts.
I mean, from a generation where it was just.
Housery.
No. I think that's just another word of it, but that's different. That's different to me.
Yeah, Housery and dark arts is different.
So dark arts is kicking the ball away and.
Let's go. As someone that done it, what was the dark arts that you?
I
guys
never did it, but I was part of teams that did it.
And
Like,
what was that like?
Just cupping someone on the corner.
What's cupping?
no.
Cupping.
I don't even know what that is, but I definitely weren't doing it. And I didn't do it with a smile on my face.
Hey, what? I didn't do it.
Be my
What's the cupping?
I'm not from.
You could get away with a lot more back in the day.
Market
There was
talk.
no repercussions. Like,
And then
if you got away with it in the 90
Hispanic.
minutes, you got away with
My
it.
So
my
dark
family.
arts for me in my day would be, imagine this, right? So we had I'm not going to say his name. just in case
Mexicano,
he's still alive.
Salvadorian.
Can he would get in trouble. He would get in trouble for this.
Oh shit.
It's an old coach I had at QPR. He told me to, and I've never done it.
Man, don't need
Never
a
done
lot
it. There were two
in.
things he told me. When I'm running at fullback to when I'm running a little dig in their belly, wind them as you're running. Yeah, if you time it right, that gets them. Another one was to spit on a player.
Nah, bro.
Exactly. So then they say
Elbow.
something racist to you and get sent off.
What the?
That's the dark arts I was getting taught. That's the 90s.
So he wanted you to get racially abused.
Yeah.
Who?
Was it?
That's what I'm saying. That's what
As
I'm
I have
saying
an
about that old
offer
Scottish
I could
man.
share.
It doesn't matter
If you don't mind,
where
yeah.
it's from, bro.
Bro,
You
are you
say
gonna tell me some graphic
spit on
design
someone so
stuff,
they
bro?
Did he give you examples of things
they-
they
Is
if
that
they
what
use
everyone
them
does on
words,
here?
Then you spit on them. That's a different thing.
Nah.
But you didn't
I'm
listen
sorry,
to your coach,
but
yeah?
Of course not.
I'm gonna foresee like 50
Not even
people.
kick it out, you
He
know.
weren't coachable.
He's unconscious.
I didn't listen, mate. I didn't listen. See?
Nah, but listen. The time wasted. It's been part of the game, and like I'm here for it.
Yeah, but Arsenal taking it. They're making tea. They're filling the kettle up.
Do you know the
The
thing
kettle.
is, if they win the league, then I'll rate it. Because they've lost out on the league by like a point or 2 points twice in a row, yeah? You have to get over the line. This is their livelihood.
Fuck.
But also, like, they need the accolade.
And everyone said they're pum-pums as well.
Yeah,
so,
they said
like,
we're
this
too,
is them.
we're too
Yeah.
nice. Like,
What
we
the
went
hell?
from having no cojones to we're evil now. Like,
I think this agenda suits you.
we're
Goddamn.
gonna get worse. You ain't seen nothing yet, bro.
Yeah, as it gets to the end of the season, everyone will get worse.
Yeah, we're gonna get worse. Man.
I've seen Kevin De Bruyne take it into the corner of games. So you know what I mean. It's still wasting time. It's just ways you view it are deemed different. But I'm not against it.
You see some of Chelsea's, like, their best eras.
Bro, what is going on? Ahí
Wasting
están frente de ti.
time. For
100%.
one
I heard John Terry say Jose told him and Gary Cahill to go down at the same time because you can't get.
treatment for both.
Man, them.
So you both go down with a head
I
injury.
learned that at level 1 coach.
He's like, yeah.
Is there a player that is there a centre back here? This is honestly, I'm gonna ask this, then I'm out.
Shite.
You're the host. How can you be out?
He's gonna end the
What
show.
do you mean?
he's
I'm
saying.
out. If I'm out, then the host is done.
All right. I was in this one. Okay.
Is there a player that everyone rates that you think, bro, I'm better
Fuck.
than
Most of them.
Vidic?
What?
Oh, you mean like, better from my ear. Now I think it right. That's a lot. No, I said that's a lot. I never said there's a lot. I never said there's a lot. I said that's a lot.
Check, bro. You're here now.
No, let me help my friend out here. He said, "There's a lot."
That's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot. I said that's a lot.
Yeah, your friend. Man. You can think of someone. He just tried to. He's going out.
Come on, bruv, come on, come on.
I don't know because I could say it and you might not think that.
Yeah, but it's
Tell you.
yours.
We're brethren. We'll tell you if you're not.
I think Vidic is a good one.
I think it's better if you say the names and ask me if I think
Ah!
better than Vidic.
Yes.
I would say nah.
Bro, we're both
What
trash.
about-
Koscielny.
Yeah, Koscielny.
Yeah, of course he was. 100% it was.
Probably say yeah.
Yeah, 100% was. 100%.
No,
was.
I rate him though. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying.
When Les Scott was at Everton,
Yeah.
before he got that move, he was top centre back in the league. He was like there.
I really
Like-
rate Vidic, man.
100, innit? He was there. Yeah, 100. And when you would, yeah, I'll say it.
If you was playing in the
Type of
Premier now,
bullshit.
like
Type of
in the
bullshit.
best form that you actually played, how much do you reckon you'd be worth?
70, 80.
I don't
You'd be
know.
worth a lot. I can't lie.
Inflation is real now. It's mad.
Nah, you. Let's think about it. Yeah, we've seen Maguire go
Bro,
for
it was
how
like
much?
50
80 million.
With add-ons though, I say what? Let's go. I would say what? 70 million.
He's better than who's your centre back left footed?
Fuck, dude.
Who?
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Martinez.
Do you call him Leacher?
I'm better than Leach.
Ay, fuck, boy.
100%. I'm faster than him. I'm stronger than him. I'll punch him up. I will move to him.
Let's get back in the car.
I'm better than him. I think I'm better.
You're
than
not,
him.
bro.
I literally think I'm better.
Bro,
than
you
him.
played for the Hampstead Heath or something. Who do you play for?
You
Hampstead
got to drop your
Heath.
county, blood.
I couldn't get into Hampstead Heath. They're a decent team. But yeah,
You're not playing in League Cup. Wait, go on.
He's better than Gabriel.
you're right. You like
you
to
think
get
I think I'm similar. Like our styles
you know
are
what it is?
similar.
You was slightly more mobile.
Oh, shit.
He's a better defender. Like,
He's both footed too.
Do you think he get into this City squad?
Rota,
listen
man.
off. Who's the
Who to Madrid?
Yeah.
Man said in the squad.
Over who?
No, that's the team. That's different.
Okay, on the squad. Okay, do you think he get into the first
You're
team?
better defensively than most of them. Bro.
I think I would be able to adapt into the team because it's like he's playing centre half and fullback.
Yeah.
So I'd be able to do that. I think I could do that.
Have you lot asked about the situation with Rodri and if they're feeling confident still?
You're not sounding confident.
He's England coach.
I'm not even.
You see, you're not
He's still City.
You're not
still
City.
Quítate.
You're not City.
What, do you mean City fan?
Yeah.
Nah, I want him to do well because I worked there. I'm not a City fan. I was never a City fan,
See?
like growing up. I was a Villa fan.
Birmingham fan? I mean, Villa, sorry, Villa.
Grealish and them, man.
When you're there for a long time,
Bro,
don't
what
you
is going
become
on?
like so you ain't checking out for the results?
Oh
and
no,
that,
that's what I'm saying. I want him to do well, and 100% I do. Yeah, but I'm not
Bro.
like a City fan. I wouldn't like call myself any team of any fan.
I was at Headstone Manor 3 seasons. I don't care what they do. I'm done with my career.
You're
Headstone.
not thinking about them.
Headstone Manor.
No,
Headstone
I'm thinking
Manor
about
is
City.
crazy.
I'm definitely thinking about City.
Who do you see
Bro.
filling in the Rodri role for the rest of the season?
No one individual.
Is it
I think it's going to have to be,
double pivot?
or just different ways to do it. Like, remember, like Gundogan can do it.
Yeah.
But just do it different. Kovacic can ball as well.
Yeah.
I think he's been working with Pep a lot as well. Obviously, prior to the injury.
Like, since he's been at City.
Yeah, I think
I don't know if it's just because Chelsea was so bad, but he's been doing different things, bro.
I think he can do it, but in a different way. You know what I mean? I don't think it's going to be one player. And also, you got to...
Fuck, dude. Why is no one moving?
Why
Move it there.
in that way either. Like,
Move it there.
because before Rodri, Fernandinho
shit.
was there, and people saying he can't do what Fernandinho did, and he just did it a different way.
Can't fucking
But it was
win.
probably more effective.
All right, let's end this with a you don't know ball challenge for the worst jacket on the panel. A man looked down. Caleb, can you name me 4 of Jolien Lescott's gaffers?
4 of his gaffers.
You can't. You don't know football like that, man. Doesn't appear to me.
Let me think.
Really? Come on, man.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe while he thinks.
Get 2 at least, man.
It's painful for me, you know.
Can I start?
Can you start?
Like, name one.
Can I learn?
They can't name one.
All right, Jolien Lescott, thanks.
Allardyce.
Name one then. Name one.
That's out of order. That's out of order. No, you've not done it. It's finished.
No. Whoa. Hey, he said Allardyce.
Hello and welcome back to the Give and Go. I'm your co-host Reynoso here with my bro
Soltero. What's up, y'all?
How the heck have you guys been, folks? We have been gone for 2 to 3 weeks. We have missed out on so much action. So let me start the show off with this. What was the biggest piece of news, the biggest thing you would say that we missed in our time gone?
I mean, there's a lot, dude. We missed a lot. We low-key picked the worst 2 weeks to go, man. But Oktoberfest, we had to. We had no choice. Come on. I just want to know, how did Osasuna beat Barcelona?
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah.
Seriously,
Four. They put 4 past them, too.
Yeah, I don't get it. Was it a B team? What happened in Barcelona? Were they just like sleeping? Was it a Champions League fatigue? I don't know what happened. I wish I could have been there to witness it, but that really just piqued my interest just looking at it.
Apparently, Manchester City and Arsenal are now beefing. There's like trash talk between both teams, apparently. Erling Haaland got a lot to say ever since that matchup that we missed out on. Leverkusen tied Bayern Munich 1-1 in a massive matchup in the Bundesliga.
Atletico somehow got a draw against Madrid, which was massive.
Yeah, that happened too.
1-1. We got it. I think it was a leg goal, something like that. Again, I have no idea how it happened. Apparently, the game was like suspended for a little bit too.
Yes, Courtois had literal literal shit thrown at him apparently from Atleti fans.
Literal
shit, a bag of shit thrown at him.
Man.
Yeah, I got nasty, and then injuries all over the place. Rodri out for the season. Happened while we were gone. Now, I mean, this is new, but Dani Carvajal out for the rest of the season.
I saw that. Yeah.
Torn ACL. We got a lot to catch up on. So let's just start with what happened this week. What happened this week? And
What's going on?
Classic weekend recap, folks. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought was the biggest thing that happened this weekend. Where shall we start, my friend?
Did you see Raul Jimenez's assist? Please tell me you did.
Assist of the year.
Assist of the year, dude.
Assist of the year. But you know why? Because he meant to do that shit.
Oh, yeah.
He meant to. That's what he was hoping for, bro.
Yeah.
God
A
damn,
work of
this
art,
is killing
man.
me.
His back is away from the action. The ball's in front of him. It's bouncing. It's a work of art. He gets creative. It's a back heel flick. Pops it over the defender. Right into an on-rushing Andreas Pereira. He puts it home. A gorgeous goal, but an even better assist. Seriously, assist of the year contender. Unreal. I haven't seen an assist like that in a long time.
I think I saw even Pep gave it credit. Like post-match, he was just like, "What? Like that was incredible. That was an amazing moment and decision from Raul Jimenez." And it baffles me even more that it's from fucking Raul Jimenez. That's where it comes from. It's a man who dropped down in quality these past 2 years, I would say 3 years even, with the heights that he reached with Wolves. But now all of a sudden it's starting to kind of gain momentum with this Fulham squad as they compete in the Premier League and actually put up some really good performances so far. And he's been their go-to guy up top, scoring goals, assisting, and getting back into that prime Raul Jimenez-like shape that we saw 4 or 5 years ago, man. And so I think this assist is actually really good for Jimenez to have on his resume that he's building this year, because what an incredible moment for him, but also just really surprising given his narrative and that he really is trying to bounce back from that low point he had these past couple of years.
Yeah, seeing that assist just honestly gave me a lot of emotion, because how he has just not been the direct successor to Chicharito for the national team, I don't think it'll ever make sense for anybody.
Bro, he surpassed him in goals scored in the Premier League.
Wow.
That's
No,
crazy.
That is actually...
Because the talent is there. I think injuries got in the way for him. That specific injury especially, I think really threw him off his course.
Yeah, the head injury, he's honestly never been the same. But as you said, the way he started this season, maybe he's on to something, you know. Not just for Fulham, but possibly for Mexico, because given the way that Santi Jimenez plays for Mexico, I think the number 9 position is still wide open, even for an aging Jimenez. And if he can get these consistent starts for Fulham, I do think it can translate into these last couple of years heading into the World Cup for Mexico, to say the least. And again, what an assist. I don't think we'll see anything crazier, man. Like, if we do, it's going to have to be nuts for the rest of the season.
You just don't see that on a professional football pitch, maybe like indoor football or something like that.
Yeah.
But the quality of it was insane. It is a little unfortunate, though, that it still didn't contribute to a victory here, because Manchester City went on to win this game 3-2 with the Jeremy Doku banger. Raul Jimenez almost had an assist, I believe, where he fed the ball into Adama Traore.
Yep.
And people are talking about this play a lot because it was a battle of physicality, with Adama Traore running towards the ball on a breakaway with Kyle Walker on his hip. And Kyle Walker, a man whose entire career, you could say, has been defined by his pace and speed, is outran by Traore, completely blown by, smoked in the process. But then we also see the lack of finishing ability from Traore, and he fails to get it past Ederson with an amazing save. What did you think about that play specifically? Does it say more about Traore? Does it say more about Kyle Walker? Because there could have been a goal there for Wolves.
Hey, two Wolves.
That's crazy.
Wolves.
That's crazy. I think I'm in 2018 right now, bro. That's crazy. It could have been a goal for Fulham, but at the same time, Kyle Walker could have been the culprit there.
Yeah. Traore got a lot of hate for this, but I mean, is it surprising? Traore's never been a goal scorer. This is who he is. If you give him a chance in front of goal, there's probably less than 50% chance he puts it away. So I think you should be frustrated if you're a Fulham fan, if you're a Traore fan, and you should be thankful if you're Kyle Walker, knowing that it is Traore beating you, because sure, he may be able to beat you on pace. He could probably beat anybody on pace, but even if you give him a wide open opportunity, he's probably not going to make it, man. Like, his statistics are not in front of goal. And at this point, this late into his career, I just don't think that's going to change.
Is Walker losing it, though, a little bit?
is he losing it just a little bit, man? Because I feel like I didn't see this happen back in his prime.
I'm not gonna say he's losing it. I think losing it's
He's like 33 now.
Yeah, that's
man.
the thing.
This is his signature move, man.
Yeah, I think it's natural. Like,
Of
yeah,
course.
sure. Like, I guess he's losing it.
He's losing it, man.
But I just think that's harsh. That's a harsh word,
It
man.
is. No, it
it's
is.
father time. There's nothing you can do. I'm fine with it. Like, if I'm a City fan and I see that play, I'm like, oh shit. Like, okay, it's Traore, and then it's an aged Kyle Walker. I low-key expect him to lose that battle. Sure, maybe in his prime I would have been surprised, but now looking at where he is right now, that's not surprising to me.
Still, though, what a result for City as Kovacic, out of all players, gets a brace in this game. No goal from Erling Haaland, but it is Doku with an amazing shot to get the game winner and give City 3 points in the Premier League title race. Staying in the Prem, we have Arsenal also getting a result as they get 3 more points on course for the title. They win 3-1 away from home against pretty measly Southampton side, who for a moment had a lead in this match and was putting up a pretty good fight and definitely tested Arsenal. Yeah. But once Havertz saw his opportunity, once Bukayo Saka saw his opportunity, even Martinelli finally we see Arsenal come out and throttle the Southampton side and get 3 goals on the board to get a 3-1 victory.
This game had that classic Premier League ebb and flow, and this is why I think the Premier League is the best league in the world, because yes, it ends 3-1. You look at the scoreline, you're like, oh, okay, Arsenal probably dominated this match. They didn't. You know, for large portions of this game, as you said, Southampton were able to genuinely test Arsenal, who are trying to win a massive title against Manchester City this season. This is another really big result, but just the way that this game ended up turning out was really entertaining to watch, because the first 20-30 minutes all Arsenal, and it looked like they were going to get 2-3 goals in the first 20-15 minutes, but Southampton were able to hold on, and that classic Arsenal doubt started to kind of seep into the stadium, seep into the noise of the crowd, and eventually to the players themselves, because the way that Southampton came out in the second half, they were ready to play. Whereas Arsenal, they were timid, they were shy. Low-key, they looked a little bit nervous, because it was Southampton in the first 15 minutes of the second half that looked the better side, even though they got dominated in the first half. And it was a really good play. Mateus Fernandes gets the ball in the midfield, launches it out to Archer, and he goes one-on-one against a really good Arsenal defense, but he wins. He takes it on, gets a really beautiful goal. Southampton are up. It's 1-0 Southampton. We're in the relegation zone right now. And Arsenal are now down a goal, needing 2, because realistically, a draw is not going to cut it for Arsenal. Needing 2 goals with 30 minutes remaining.
Sensational.
And what ended up ensuing was a brilliant response from Arsenal. And it's one that is necessary for them to maintain this title race against Manchester City. And I've kind of mentioned it before, specifically this season. I do think Arsenal is different this year because of a game like this. I honestly believe that years prior, this would have ended in a draw. Low-key, honestly, maybe even a loss. But the way that Arsenal responded, they didn't panic. They didn't get desperate, which I think is the biggest thing to look at in this match. They didn't get desperate. They calmed themselves, and they remained their normal offensive selves, and they ended up getting 3 beautiful goals. Kai Havertz has been so big this year, and he gets that equalizing goal to kickstart this comeback from Arsenal. It's a brilliant response to going down 1-0. Well done to Mikel Arteta. Well done to Arsenal in general. Calafiori features as Chimber's out as well. So I think overall, from the entire perspective of Arsenal, it got a little hairy, but it's a really, really good result here.
It's a great result. It's a great result. Kai Havertz is the player to talk about here, because his rise this year, I think finally we're seeing the Kai Havertz that so many people have hoped for, that we've been promised, because he is having the best offensive start to any season that we've seen out of him. And we can see just how much he can lift up a team when he's playing at his best level, bro. I think he has over 5 goals already this whole season. He is clinical now. He is so smart, so much more composed in front of goal, at least from what I've seen so far, that I think it's going to lift this Arsenal offense up, given the fact that they are missing Odegaard right now. And I think if you have Kai Havertz from last year, I don't know if you get these results, man, without Odegaard behind, because right now it's the fact that he has stepped up that I think is really making up for the lost ground of not having Odegaard. Saka's going to continue playing his incredible football. We know that. And Martinelli is starting to wake up, which is good to see. Trossard, I think, has been huge as well in Odegaard's absence. But Havertz, I think, is a player that needed to step up the most out of all of them. Seeing him do that, I think, is super, super huge. My concern, though, with this Arsenal team is kind of similar to what you said about Aston Villa. They're keeping these games close, bro. They're keeping them really exciting because this is coming off of a game where they nearly tied Leicester City and got 2 goals at the end of the day. It was a 4-2 result, but that scoreline was very favorable to them given how tight that game was. It came into the very last minutes for them to break the deadlock and get a 3-2 lead and then go on to get that 4th goal. They're making things very, very exciting, very dramatic, but I just don't know if it's sustainable, man, because this is a long Premier League season to have. If they continue doing this against lower level teams, that's my concern. I want to see them put them away, not even allow that goal to happen or allow these teams to get into these matches so that they don't have to have that classic Arsenal doubt that you bring up.
Absolutely. I will say Saliba and Gabriel, they have amazing moments, but in every single game, there's moments where they lapse as well. And they didn't do that at all last year. They were probably the best center back pairing in the world. So I think that prime level that they played at, low-key has run its course. I think now they're playing at the level that they probably are going to play at more consistently. The thing is, I think Arsenal will be fine. I want to guarantee that right now. So it's okay.
You want to go
there?
I already said they're going to win the
Van
league.
Dijk's defense doesn't convince you, bro?
I know it does.
2
Van
goals
Dijk's
allowed the whole season, man.
Van Dijk's a better
You want to
defender.
bank on that?
Oh, I'll talk about Liverpool in a second, all right? I'm going to talk about them in just a second. But right now, Arsenal going to be fine because I do think their offense is even better than it was last year.
For sure.
They're calmer, but they're just as confident, and I think that is the difference. Like I said, I think they would have panicked last year, and they definitely would have panicked 2 years ago. But in this game, even without Odegaard, which I agree they will need, by the way, they will need him, they didn't panic. And it's because they have a guy like Kai Havertz to take that place. But this is a really good win for Arsenal. But very quickly, Southampton, one player I really want to highlight here, Dibley. Dibley is his name, and he didn't do much from a chance creation perspective in this game, but he's their right winger. Really young player, Southampton academy player, and he looks promising. Just off the bat, the way his first touch is, it's excellent. But more importantly, he's a really powerful dribbler. Quick touches, very light on the feet. He looks to be a really good player. So I'm very excited to see Dibley kind of grow with this Southampton team. He already got the start against Arsenal, which I think shows that he's going to be a very high-level player in the Premier League. So exciting. And if you're Liverpool, get ready to sign him low-key in the next couple of years, man, because there is no way he stays at Southampton for the next year.
He's the next one. The next one up for like Southampton's classic transfers over to a bigger club.
Yeah. I think he's going to be the next guy if he goes on the trajectory, because the way that he dribbles, he can get past 1 or 2 players, which honestly the rest of the Southampton team just can't do that.
But going back to Arsenal, I think the only thing I want to say is I agree with most of what you're saying. I really do. I just think all that lends towards them being more successful in the Champions League rather than the Premier League. I just don't think Premier League's for them anymore, man. I don't. It's not for them.
They got to go to Wales.
The way they're playing the Champions League, I think it fits their style. It fits the fact that Gabriel and Saliba can play up to a top center back partnership in the world when they're on it. We saw the game against PSG impressed me so much, although PSG is pretty mid. Well, I'll talk about them later. But I thought I was so impressed with that performance and how Arsenal looks in the European stage. I think their game is almost molded towards that. So I actually have them going on a deep run in the Champions League, at least posing more of a threat there than the Premier League. Obviously, they're still in the title race. I don't want to discount them. I'm still going to stick to Manchester City still winning it at the end of the day, and Liverpool probably having a better chance. But for now, I think Arsenal really does have a good shot at challenging or being potentially a contender in the Champions League because of how they're set up and how the mentality works for this team. Moving over to the last team.
So they'll get the cup double then. All right, that's fine with me. I'm fine with that.
Bro,
they'll get a Premier League and a Champions League.
They'll get an FA Cup.
It'll be the best year Arsenal fans.
They're made for one-off matches, bro. They'll get the Carabao Cup or some bullshit. They ain't winning the Prem, bro.
We'll see.
Moving over to a team that I think might potentially do it is Liverpool, brother. Liverpool facing off against Crystal Palace and winning 1-0 away from home. There was this kid. I don't know if you saw a video. There's a kid at halftime, Crystal Palace kid, I don't know, 7 years old maybe, who got the opportunity to take a penalty kick in front of the fans at halftime.
Oh, cool.
He scores a perfectly placed penalty. I'll put the video here as I speak about it. Perfectly placed penalty. It's an amazing finish for this Crystal Palace kid. And he runs towards the Liverpool section, and he shushes them. It's one of the craziest things you'll see, bro.
Man.
But that little kid offered more of an offensive threat than this entire Crystal Palace team this game, bro. This Crystal Palace team, man, is really disappointing, man. And it makes me question just how good was Olise. Because the fact he provided so much of an offensive output for this team, and given that not much has changed up top for them, they still have Mateta, they still have Eze, but they don't have that golden boy in Olise. Their offense looks dead now, man. Dead. And Liverpool took full advantage. They dominated this game. They look convincing every single time. And if anything, it's the disappointment here is the fact that we didn't win by more goals. That's our biggest thing. We should have won by 2 or 3 goals.
Yeah, should have.
But our ability to finish so far showed itself, only winning 1-0. But as we mentioned, the defense was incredible, immense once again. I can't believe it. 2 goals conceded in 7 games. And it just feels like Konate and Van Dijk, if healthy, definitely has an argument for the best partnership in world football right now. And Van Dijk is having yet another prime Van Dijk season. And that has to be given credit for because he's so fucking good, though, bro, that I think people just kind of, wave it off as another Van Dijk season. But the level that he plays at, I think is one of the best levels that we've seen out of any defender of all time. I'll go that far, bro. He's that good, and I just don't want people to, kind of take it for granted because Van Dijk, when he's at his absolute best, is the best defender in the world. And you pair him up with Konate, who's definitely improving his game too, you get a great defensive setup that I think is going to carry Liverpool this season. It gets a little concerning, though, when you got an injury-prone keeper like Alisson, who's out once again.
Dude, when he went down just due to muscle injury, I was like, oh, he's the only goalkeeper I've ever seen that's injury prone.
Magnan.
Magnan?
He's the other one.
Okay, then yeah.
There's a whole discussion on Twitter. People were like, yeah. People saying the same thing. I was like, is there anyone else? Magnan is very, very injury prone as well.
It's nuts, man. I just haven't seen it. I guess he was okay up until a certain age that he reached, and now he's just. I low key think this is going to be a problem for the rest of his career, man.
Every season, there's almost always 2 injury situations with him per season that you just gotta expect. And then boom, Kelleher comes in, or for a while it was Adrian who comes in, but you end up having to put these guys, these backups, in really important moments of the season for a title contending team. And we saw that with the new keeper we have, Yorgos, I think is his name. Yeah. Or Lars. What was it?
No, Jarosz.
Yeah. Czech Republic.
Yeah.
Actually having a big situation to be thrown into in this match, but doing well on his own. It's just, I think that's the biggest concern for me is our goalkeeping position. And low-key, I wish we had Mamadashvili now. Yeah. Because we do need him.
Yeah. That was the first thought I had after seeing Becker get subbed.
So
after seeing him get subbed off, I was like, oh, now I know why Liverpool were looking at other keepers. Because I think they realized that Alisson is just going to be injured every single year. What Kelleher showed last year, though, I think you'll be fine. And as Jarosz proved in this match, he looked good, too. So I think the backups are going to be fine for Liverpool. But, yeah, you definitely probably want to sign like a top goalkeeper in the next transfer window, or at least in the summer. But I have one thing to say about Liverpool here. Frauds.
No, don't even go there. Don't even go there. Don't even go there, dude.
7 matches have been played in the Premier League, right?
Sir.
Only 1 match of Liverpool's has been against a top 10 side. Only 1. And they lost that game. That was against Nottingham Forest.
We're going to discredit the Italian conquest that we've been on in the Champions League? You want to discredit that?
Bro, yes.
Because we've been running fools over there, too.
Oh, I know that.
Okay?
Oh, no, but absolutely, bro.
All right.
That's the Champions League, man. Most teams can't play against Premier League teams. Most teams can't play against, Madrid, against Bayern Munich. This is natural. This is a natural course of things. But when it comes to the Premier League, man, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
The schedule has been the easiest for Liverpool. By far, by the way.
Sure. That's fine. Doesn't mean we're frauds.
No, and what I'm saying is it's not Liverpool's fault because they can only play what's in front of them. But what I am saying is the next 40 days is going to show Liverpool's true colors. Because after the international break, we're talking about Brighton. We're talking about Manchester.
Oh, the next 10 are crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
I'm gonna be bleeding red.
This is a career
scary,
mode.
dude.
You're gonna be
I'm in
nervous.
Kansas
And it
City
should
right
be.
now.
Big names.
Yeah, and it's gonna, I think, gonna show if this Arne Slot Liverpool is actually ready for a title race. Now the thing is, I think they are ready because the players that they have in their front line and the way that they're moving, the activity that they have is elite. It is top level. As you said, they are, you know, jokes aside, you know, they are dominating the Champions League, and they are for the most part dominating these low-level Premier League sides. Cody Gakpo, Luis Diaz, Diogo Jota could have had a hat-trick, honestly, against Crystal Palace if he had his shooting boots on, and then Mohamed Salah still doing Mohamed Salah things.
Crazy.
Like, the front line of Liverpool and the depth that they have is elite. That's going to make them title contenders for sure. But what I'm going to be very curious to see after this international break is, can they take adversity? What does Liverpool look like when they're down a goal, right? What does Liverpool look like when it's a really tight game? It's 0-0 or maybe it's 1-1, and they're facing it against an opponent that actually can score against them, right? Because all the teams that they face, man, outside of Nottingham Forest, their offense has been
You're
atrocious,
asking questions
bro.
that this core of players have answered for the past 5-6 years. That's my thing.
I'm
the
talking
core's
about
the same.
I'm talking about slots, Liverpool.
Slot machine.
Yeah, slot machine. Yeah, because ultimately, I do think it comes down to how the manager manages these
For sure.
players.
No,
Like
for sure.
how like the formations that he chooses, and not only that, but again, when they're down a goal, how does
Does it
Slot
get
respond?
desperate? Yeah,
does it
for
get
sure.
desperate, or do the players, you know, used to Klopp's response going down a goal, are they confused as to what Slot wants? That's what I'm looking for, because ultimately, if you want to win a Premier League, you want to win a Champions League, everybody's got to be on it, the players and the coach. You can't have one or the other. So I'm very, very excited to see after the international break, but because Liverpool are going to get tested. Obviously, I think they can do it, as I already pointed out. They're positives, but some of the negatives, man, I don't know. We've already noted it in the past couple games where Liverpool, their energy levels look lower than we've seen under Klopp. But even against Palace, man, when Will Hughes and Mateta came on in the 60th minute, Palace actually had a really good 20-minute spell.
Yeah.
And had they had better players, maybe like Michael Olise, they would have gotten
I
a
never
goal.
do that, but I'm gonna do
As they
this.
had two huge chances that he just put right at the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And so I'm just wondering, what happens when Liverpool concede? We've seen what happens when Arsenal concede. We've seen what happened when Villa concede. We've also seen what happened when City concede, because they've faced, I think, just harder opponents. Again, this is not Liverpool's fault.
Things we don't concede, bro.
I know, against low-level opponents.
We don't concede, bro.
Yes.
We don't. We
Of
got
course.
Van Dijk guiding the back line, man.
And and by the way,
buying in.
Yeah, you should.
I'm
Van
buying
Dijk's
in.
the best center back of the last 10 years.
This is the first
Easy.
week. This is the first week where I know I have my prediction about Manchester City as a pundit, but this is the first week where I fully bought in to Liverpool potentially lifting the title because I found myself actually finally rooting for Arsenal to lose and Manchester City to lose. I hadn't been like that
okay.
the first few weeks because it's just a given. But I think Liverpool, especially not just Palace, I think the run of form is incredible in the way we've been doing it, the way we've been dominating games. And bro, we were conceding goals to Palace last year. We were conceding goals to Brentford. We were conceding goals to low-level teams last year that put us in tough spots and ended up costing us points last year. That's why these games matter, even though they're against lower-level quality teams, because we were actually shooting ourselves in our own feet. I don't know what the saying is. Constantly last year against teams of this level. That's why I actually put merit onto it, or I think it does matter that we're controlling these games in ways that we didn't do so, I would say, the past 2 years under Klopp. The next 10 games are going to be interesting because I have them right here. Let's look at them,
They're
bro.
going to be crazy.
Chelsea.
Yeah.
RB Leipzig, who's top of the Bundesliga right now, by the way. Arsenal. Brighton back-to-back. Bayer Leverkusen. Aston Villa. Southampton. Real Madrid. Manchester City.
Yep. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna know who Liverpool is over the next 40 days.
We'll be fine.
I hope.
Fine.
I do think
We'll
you
be
can
fine.
be, but let's see, bro. Let's
We'll
see.
be fine, man. I'm excited. No, I am genuinely excited to see us
gonna
finally
be
go up
crazy,
against
man.
these top teams. It starts with Chelsea, but Liverpool currently leading the league, and you're calling them frauds, man. You should be calling RB Leipzig frauds right now, man. Right. Outside of the title race still in the Premier League, we have had some really fun and exciting results. A quick note I want to make. Brentford can't stop scoring early goals.
Yeah.
4 games in a row. Listen to this. A goal 22 seconds into the match. Next game, a goal 23 seconds into the match.
My God.
Third game, a goal 37 seconds into the match. And then this weekend, their latest one, a goal 76 seconds into the match. Brentford, in the first 5 minutes, 2 minutes of matches, rivals that of 2002 Brazil. Rivals that of 2011 Barcelona. They lock in like no other, and they are an incredible type of form that I've never seen regarding starts to a match. And I want to give them credit.
They're sneaky. Real sneaky. That game was crazy, though. Brentford against Wolves. The first 30 minutes felt like an NBA game. It was just end to end, back and forth. It was 5 goals before the 30th minute.
That's crazy.
5 goals. A goal every 6 minutes. And it genuinely felt like every single time the ball went into the final third, especially for Brentford, it looked like there was going to be a goal. There was just that much space to be exploited. And I think this is where we have to take the time and say that Wolves' defense is horrible. I wanted to see, because I talked about Liverpool having the easiest schedule. Wolves low-key have had probably the hardest schedule to start the Premier League season. I think they've played 4 of the top 5 already, which is pretty crazy. But this game against Brentford, mid-table, this is where Wolves need to show how good they are, right? This is where they get the points. This is where they can build on their team chemistry and at least prove to themselves that they're not that bad. You know, you lose against City, Arsenal, that's fair, that's fine. But Brentford, you got to try and at least compete, man. But oh, dude, the defense was so bad from Wolves. It's low-key, like second div, third division defending at times because they're either ball watching or they're just chasing. They press with no real regard to where the rest of their teammates are. So Brentford smartly would just move the ball around, and eventually there'd be a giant hole, and they would exploit it. And they were able to get 5 goals ultimately against this really poor Wolves side. What's crazy, though, is that Wolves can't score. I mean, they scored 3 themselves, and they've scored this entire season, but their defense, if they don't fix it, they're getting relegated, which is so sad because they have some really fun offensive players that are first division quality, man. And, you know, like, you look at a team like Southampton or Ipswich, they would beg for some of these offensive players that Wolves have, but Wolves are low-key just wasting their offense because their defense is so bad.
I'm happy about this Wolves downfall.
Yeah, you would like to see it?
I'm real happy, bro. I've been wanting this for years. And the slight smirk I had when I saw that they're 20th place in the Premier League right now, bro. Below teams like Crystal Palace, below teams like Southampton, below teams like Everton. It's Wolves, baby. They're going to the second division, and they're going to the championship, the best league in the world. And I think that fits their vibe. I think that fits their style. This team has run its course. It's run its course, and I think it shows, bro. You allow 5 goals to Brentford, bro?
Yeah, it's 5. It's so bad.
I didn't watch the game. I just looked at the scoreline on this one. When I saw 5, I was like, send them back, bro. Send them back.
The way they conceded to it was. I'm not kidding. It was low league defending, man. It was elementary. It was so bad. I don't know how you fix it. I think you need to get a new coach, because right now I don't think the players believe in what's happening. And it really showed in this game against Brentford, because we were watching like a little bit of that Villa game where Wolves look good, but they all of a sudden just crash. And I do think it's down to the manager and how he's approaching these matches, how he comes out in the second half. I think they just need a complete change there.
And managers can have such a big impact, because Thomas Frank has proven me wrong once again. I was actually skeptical about this Brentford side early on in the season. I think they're proper mid-table right now.
Proper mid,
And I'm impressed. I'm impressed because I didn't think the names, the people, the players on paper were that convincing, and I didn't know if this team had the emotional aspect to them to where they could fight back in the Prem once again, back to back times. But Thomas Frank, I saw I think it was a post-game speech he had after this Wolves game, and he just, man, I would love to play for him. I really would. He's a passionate but intelligent coach that I think truly deserves damn near a statue from Brentford fans of what he's achieved, man, because the fact that he hasn't played really good ball, really good offensive ball specifically, I think just goes to say that he is an incredible head coach, and credit to him, because I think this is the toughest test he's had so far with this specific squad, and he's proven a lot of people wrong once again, just having another great year, and I hope that he continues it. I hope. And at the very least, avoids relegation and keeps this team in the Prem. Shout out Thomas Frank, man. My favorite game of the week, though. Favorite game of the week happened today at Stamford Bridge with Chelsea going up against Nottingham Forest, tying 1-1. Game of the week, though, man. 15 saves between both keepers. 50 and over 40 shots combined from each team. Back and forth, and there was drama. There was a brawl in between. There was class. There was everything you could have asked out of a game. We had it in this match. A really good atmosphere as well. And it's Forest who actually went up 1-0, and I think ends up leaving the game feeling the best about themselves, because I think Chelsea, I wouldn't say we're lucky, but definitely had to battle to get a point out of this game, and ultimately tying it with a Cole Palmer assist to Madueke with a really nice finish. But man, this game, dude, I think it completely sold me on what Nottingham Forest is trying to sell me this year, which is maybe finally being a top 10 team in the Prem.
Yeah.
I think Nuno Espirito Santos has been incredible so far, managing this team and setting them up in ways for success. I loved how he managed them against Liverpool specifically, the only team to have beaten them so far, and doing it at Anfield, and the way that he went about bringing on his offensive players in the second half and proving to be a really smart decision. We've continued to see decisions like that from him this entire season, and they're in 10th place, I believe, right now after this result. But I think Nottingham Forest ball is legit. I do. I'm not saying they get European football. I'm not saying nothing like that. Yeah. But this team typically is battling it out in the relegation zone. I think for the first time we're going to see Nottingham Forest, since they've arrived in the Prem, a team that will be battling for maybe that mid-table 10th place positioning and maybe even single-digit positioning for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, that'd be cool. They'd take the place of like classic West Ham. We're always like between 8th and 10th place.
Yeah.
You know, that'd actually be really cool to see. I remember last year looking at Nottingham and seeing them play really good offensive football specifically, but they could never translate it maybe to wins, or they couldn't do it for long periods of time. But the way they started this season, I think just in general show that I do think the project that they have is actually leading to something. So yeah, it's brilliant to see. And dude, they got some ballers, man. They have some absolute ballers, whether it's like really good technique on the ball with Morgan Gibbs-White, or just they have some really good pacey wingers as well. I'll be really happy if Forest can maintain this. They're fun to watch, man.
They're fun to watch. They've only lost one game so far in the Prem. They've tied 4, and most games, I think all the games that I've seen out of them, 7 games so far in the Prem, only one game where they scored 2 goals. The rest, they either won 1-0 or tied 1-1. That's their game plan, bro. And I think you got to highlight the defense with Milinkovic coming from Fiorentina. I think he's been quietly a very good, solid center back, fitting in perfectly into the Premier League, and paired up with Murillo, who's also here, I think, in his second year in the Prem.
Dude.
And has also been really good, too. A young center back, I think, at 22 years old.
Murillo's good.
Yeah.
And he was so good. I had to see where he came from. He just came from Brazil. And Nottingham picked him out. They scouted him out. He immediately inserted himself into a Premier League side, and he looks natural, man. He's a really good center back.
And then I would say Sells, the goalkeeper, has actually found some really good form too, making some pretty important saves in this game. And the whole season, I think he's been great too. So Nottingham Forest, I'm buying in. And as for Chelsea, I mean, what do you think about Chelsea this year so far? Because I believe they're in 4th or 5th. They're in 4th place right now with 14 points. Definitely a much better start this year than what we've seen from them last year. What do you think about the Enzo Maresca project so far and how this Chelsea team looks?
Well, I noted it in the very first game against Manchester City, where people were so focused on clowning Chelsea, but they look different. They look completely different in the first game, and they've continued that difference throughout this entire season. I think Maresca is a good coach, and I think he's slowly winning over, game by game, the entire support of these Chelsea fans. 4th place right now, considering how poor Chelsea have been the last couple of years. I mean, this is dreamlike for Chelsea, truly. You look at the squad, now this is where they should be, right? Like, that's been the frustrating part about Chelsea for the last couple of years. So it's good to see a coach and the players actually fulfill their potential. Obviously, I still think there's a couple things to work on, but just in general, I like what I'm seeing from Chelsea. The energy, I think, is completely different. But on the flip side, I think it doubles down on the idea that Mauricio Pochettino is a mid-coach.
He ends up taking the fall here. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
because he didn't do this.
He didn't do anything.
He didn't
like
come close to this.
No.
And what's cool, I think actually I got to give credit to Maresca for this. He's managing 2 teams, dude. Have you seen the lineups for the Conference League matches that Chelsea put, it's a different team.
Yeah.
I think Cole Palmer is set to not even play a single game in the Conference League. Like, he made that announcement prior to the tournament starting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he's so set on just, we have so many players of so much good quality that I'm going to just manage 2 different teams, essentially.
You should.
And you should, because you can win the Conference League. They should win the Conference League still with the time that they have.
Yeah.
And so I think that's impressive. And
I'm fine with it. Like I said, I think Maresca is the guy. Like, I really do think Chelsea have gotten a really good coach. Now, he's not proven. That's the only downside about Maresca, right, is he's not really a proven coach. But what he's done already in the first 2 months of the Premier League with Chelsea is more than Chelsea have seen in the last couple of years. So I think that's already a massive win for the club.
it's good. I'm not sold. It's an easy schedule, bro. They haven't faced anybody outside of City.
Okay.
What you're calling Liverpool frauds because of their easy schedule? They got the second easiest one, man.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be impressed with Chelsea yet. I think we'll find out with them in the future because their next game is Liverpool, and I think those early season remarks will show itself, especially when they face off against top level teams, man.
But I don't have Chelsea doing anything crazy this year. That's why I'm like, okay, this is a much better than what we've seen in the last couple of years, but I don't have them doing anything crazy. Like I think they would be a little lucky to get a top 4 finish, truly. But they can fight for it for sure.
I have the expectation that they should get 4th with how much they spent. I'm going at it from like a transfer money point of view.
Yeah,
I
but
think
that's
what should happen.
Year.
That's what should happen. Exactly. And I don't think they should get a pass. I don't think so, because they spend probably the most out of any team in Europe.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna be a little harsh on them. Thankfully, you're not a Chelsea fan. I don't mean to be harsh on you, but I'm just saying, if you're a Chelsea fan, I expect them to be a top 4 team, minimum top 5 with what they've invested into the team and what's happened so far in the past few years. So if Enzo Maresca is really that guy, I need to see that happen. I think anything below that, I'm not saying is a disappointment, but I'll just think, okay, well, it's a little bit of a continuation of what we've seen from this team.
But I think it proves more to the point that Chelsea just spend a lot of money, not that they get great players, right? So I think Maresca is dealing with a team that's inflated in value, right? So I don't think they're actually top 4 in money terms, sure, but in actual quality, I don't think so. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
They can do it though because they have great players. But
that's why I think they should.
But I think it'll take Maresca time. I think it'll take him time because you compare their squad to Liverpool's starting 11. Liverpool's starting 11's leaps and bounds better. So that's why I'm putting the pressure on Slot to figure it out, because he's been given a golden opportunity with like world-class players, whereas Maresca's been given the opportunity money-wise, but not quality-wise. So that's why I'm not putting the same amount of pressure. And that's why I take this dub as being in 4th right now as like a big win for Chelsea, because it's been that bad over the last couple of years.
For sure.
So I'm being lenient on them for sure.
You're being a little more lenient.
I am.
He signed a lot of these guys in the offseason. Like, they were his signings too. So this is Enzo Maresca's vision, at the making right now. You think it'll be a little more time? I'm cool on that.
Yeah.
I think I'm a little bit more urgent, because I think once you bring in money like that, you deserve to be criticized. Maybe that's just me coming from a Darwin Nunez perspective, who took a lot of heat for the money that it cost to get him. But I think that's the same type of attitude that I'm having towards Chelsea. You spend money, you get pressure put onto you because of that.
True.
And kind of on that same vibe, kind of on that same energy, we got a new record, brother, in the Premier League. A new record. Manchester United's worst start to the Premier League season after 7 games in their history has been made official once again by Erik ten Hag, doing it in back-to-back years. Last year had 9 points after 7 matches. This year, 8 points after 7 matches.
Wow.
The worst start to Manchester City's season after 7 matches. This time tying against a great Aston Villa side, but also coming off, not Villa, Manchester United, coming off of poor performances in the time that we were gone.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is just sad to see. It really is. But sad in the sense that they spend so much money. They regard themselves as one of the biggest clubs in the world, and this is the darkest period, literally, of their entire club's history.
Man.
Like, literally, we're in the worst period of Manchester United history right now. It's crazy, and that's why I say sad. Now the thing is, I love it. I love it because when you have that type of power economically, you just love to see them fail. You really do, man. I've never been a Man U fan, honestly. Only reason why I was because of Chicharito. As soon as he left, So did my loyalty to that team, man. And I just can't believe the downfall, though, because it literally is getting worse. It shouldn't, though. It shouldn't be getting worse, but yeah, I just think they need a really good new coach. I don't know who it needs to be, but it just needs to be a different guy. And the players themselves just need to humble themselves, understand that they're mid, that they're not a big club, because I think that's honestly what the problem is that they come in thinking it's like they're Real Madrid, but obviously they're not. And so there's just a huge discrepancy between ego, between how the club is run, between the staff themselves and the players they want to use. There's like complete miscommunication in this club, and this is what you get. You get 8 points after 7.
It's crazy because you're right, and they need to rehaul. But it's crazy saying that coming off of such an expensive summer transfer window, and you can say that for the past 3 years. I think spending $500 million in transfers, if not more, under Eric Ten Hag. And we're saying that what they need to do is just basically reset.
They need to reset.
Just take a shower, rinse off, and just think new ideas. Yeah. Because every time I watch Eric Ten Hag post-match, and I love doing this, I love watching post-match interviews of Eric Ten Hag because it is such a clear sign of a dead man walking, a guy in denial, a guy that knows what's coming for him but is telling himself differently. It's crazy, man, how the mind works. And you see Eric Ten Hag fully putting that on display. And it's never been so clear to me, man, that this guy is not the man to bring success to Manchester United. He's had few moments, man, where you might have seen some shimmer of light in the distance for his Manchester United team, but I just think it's so clear that it's time to move on from him. I think the fan base wants the same too, and even the way the players are playing under him now, I think Ten Hag really works well when the guys buy into his system the way that they did at Ajax, and when they honestly respect him. And I don't think that respect is there anymore, man. I think people or players, go through these really bad results, and obviously they're probably hard on themselves, but they're also looking at the coach like, you're not the guy to save us. You're not going to get us out of this. You're not going to tell me what to do so we can bounce back next week. Like, there really is no solution there for the players. So I think the players are out on this thing. I think Eric Ten Hag is just focused on trying to feed his family and just keep the paycheck going. And so I think it's a terrible mixture that I think ultimately comes down to the front office of Manchester United. I think they need to make a decision soon and get this man out, bro. I think it's time to move on from him and invest in new players, new ideas, new transfers that I think bring in a different type of energy, because we already criticized the transfers that they got this past summer transfer window.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing there, bro.
No.
There isn't. And so it's just crazy to me that Manchester United has fallen this much, given how bad they've been the whole 2010s era. The 2020s is looking even worse.
Yeah, Ten Hag just isn't the guy. I completely agree. And I think for me, it was when he couldn't integrate Jadon Sancho into the squad last season.
For real?
When that happened and they weren't getting any good results for the rest of the season, I realized I was like, okay, Ten Hag's probably a very specific type of manager, and it's actually detrimental to the entire club. You got to figure it out if you have a player like Jadon Sancho. You got to go to the manager and be like, look, I know you have a probably specific way of playing. Figure out how to put him in the team, because he's going to be your best player. He's going to be something that you don't have outside of him. So figure it out. You're a manager. You have to be somewhat lenient in how you operate. This is more than just one guy. But I think Ten Hag's proven to be very rigid in his approach to football, and unfortunately, it's just not working. At Ajax, it worked, right?
Yeah.
And that rigidity, I think it was more so a match made in heaven for him with the players that he had. But now that things have just gotten rough, the rigidity needs to be loosened up, and it's just not working. So, ultimately, I thought there was a moment where we could give him time, but that time's gone, bro.
Yeah, it's gone, bro. It's gone, man.
I can't believe, honestly, like the front office hasn't made big changes. But we look at everything that has happened in the last 10 years of United. It's just front office mistake after front office mistake. Nothing's working right now for United. So yeah, it just makes sense that it's this bad. It's just crazy though, because they could buy anybody that they want. And even Chelsea, right?
Say, yeah.
Even Chelsea, for as bad as they've been, they somewhat figure it out, right? But United, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. So it's just shocking to see.
And I think it's contrasted when you look across the touchline and you see a guy like Unai Emery guiding this Aston Villa side. Yes, they drew in this match, but ignore this match, bro. They beat Bayern while we were gone.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
The scenes were ridiculous, and watching that game, I think it really like settled into my mind at least. I think Unai Emery is a top 5 manager.
Yeah.
I think world football. I think the project that he's taken on with Aston Villa, after the already impressive project he had with Villarreal, for example, taking them to a semi-final of the Champions League and losing to my beautiful Liverpool, but still going on a deep run in that league and overachieving with that squad. I think Unai Emery is one of the best managers that we have right now in football, because it's shown in the way that he dictates his players, the way that he can amp up a crowd and get them behind him, and the way that he sets up his teams to win. Man, Aston Villa is playing some beautiful, beautiful football when you see games like the one we saw against Bayern Munich, and when you see Unai Emery just guiding them, I think it's a match made in heaven. So I think his resume is looking ridiculous now with this Aston Villa success that he's had, and I want to see where he goes, bro, because we talked about what they can achieve in the Prem, but in Europe, after getting a historic victory over Bayern like that, man, I'm excited. I'm excited to just see what can they cook up in the Champions League under Unai Emery.
Yeah, I think just in general, any Premier League side will always be fascinating to see in a knockout stage, simply because the offensive players that they have are just so fun to watch. But for Villa, man, I'm frustrated because this is another draw. And they've had the opportunity to basically be right behind Liverpool twice now, and they haven't taken it. I think, honestly, these are points dropped at this point.
Oh, yeah.
You look at it, years past, this would have actually been a decent result, even with a shitty Man U. But the way Villa have started this season, gotta get the win here, man.
And
you
last
gotta
week,
go
bro,
for it.
it's
Last week, too.
Ipswich, man. That's the one that got me.
Exactly, bro. So I think 2 draws in a row. Obviously, they're still right there. That's the thing. That's the beauty right now of the Premier League. It's the top 5 right now are right next to each other. But Villa, just the opportunities that they've had last week and this week to go top of the table, it's getting to me, man. And this is what I was talking about with Villa, is that it's gonna get dramatic, and usually when things get dramatic for a team that doesn't have the establishment of winning, it ends in heartbreak, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Move on from the Prem.
Yeah.
Focus on Champions League Villa, man.
Exactly.
I think that'll be more happiness.
It'll be more happiness for sure.
The Prem Villa, bro, we have highlighted that, man. It's been amazing in moments with what Duran has done for this team. Dude, my crazy. God. I get jealous looking at the crowd and seeing them experience these moments with Duran giving them game winners on game winners on game winners. But at the same time, bro, you're tying Ipswich 2-2. Jesus Christ, man. Man, you no back-to-back weeks. I'm out, at least Premier League-wise. I'm not saying I'm not saying they're going to be bad. I'm just saying, like, I'm out in the sense of, hoping that they do something truly special, like finish top 3. I still think 4th or 5th is theirs to have.
Yeah, agreed. Leicester got their first win of the season.
Against who?
Against Bournemouth. Oh. And it was a beautiful banger of a goal from Buonanotte. Glides himself into the box, blasts it home, roofs, hits the top of the back of the net. Leicester score early, honestly, and they just hold on. They hold on, but they get the win in front of their home crowd. And I pointed out because I do think Leicester can fight. I think they can fight this year. Don't think it's going to be easy, though. I've seen Leicester play a couple times this year, and the positives are they have a lot of attacking options, man. Mavadidi was fantastic with his activity. He's a really pacey type of winger. You still have, obviously, Jamie Vardy constantly looking for that sneaky run to get in and behind the defense. But then you have, Jordan Ayew, who's a Premier League veteran at this point. You have Fatawu, who can come off the bench. He's a very pacey player. Not really established as far as chance creator or goal scorer, but I just think Leicester have a lot of these feisty attacking players that are really good on the break. And so Leicester are really fun to watch offensively. And then you have players like Buonanotte, who's a really good mazy dribbler, and he can get goals like he did today against Bournemouth, but their defense is going to be their problem. They're kind of like Wolves in the sense that their offense is pretty good, but their defense is super leaky. Nowhere near as bad as Wolves.
Wolves 21 goals conceded, Leicester 12.
Yeah.
21.
21 is crazy, bro.
That's an average of 7 a game. 4 a game.
That's crazy.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's really bad for Wolves. But for
focus on Leicester.
But for Leicester, I don't think it's that bad to where I think if they play against a bottom half team, they'll have a 50% chance of winning, right? And that's where they need to win their games and survive relegation. But I think anytime Leicester play against a top half team in the Prem, they're probably going to lose.
For sure.
They're that type of team this year.
Currently in 15th place, so you're saying they survive relegation?
I definitely think that they can, but the way Southampton played against Arsenal, I think Southampton low-key can fight too in their own way. So it's going to be really interesting to see. I say Wolves right now are by far the worst team in the Premier League.
Wolves
so
by far.
I think they're going to get relegated, but I think it's going to be a crazy fight between teams like Leicester and Southampton and Ipswich, for example.
Southampton has to wake up soon, man. One tie, 6 losses.
Yeah.
And then next up is Crystal Palace, 3 ties, 4 losses. Everton or Leicester, who finishes higher?
I would say Everton. I would say Everton. They've actually turned things around slightly over the last couple of games specifically. They got their first win last week. They played Newcastle this week and got a really good 0-0 draw. There was a moment though that I wanted to bring up in this Everton Newcastle game, bro. Penalty was called. Stupid decision from Tarkowski, bro. Like, he just had his arms all over the Newcastle player. Easy penalty, but it was stupid because up until that moment, it was a fair fight. Everton were going at Newcastle were going at Everton. This was a really tight game. And to just give the penalty away like that, especially when you're Everton trying to change things, you just can't do that, man. You got to keep your head. You're hurting your entire team. You're hurting your fans by giving away a cheap penalty, but that's not the thing I wanted to point out. Out of all the players that could take a goddamn penalty for Newcastle, out of the 11 players out there, bro, Anthony Gordon steps up. The ex-Everton, at Everton, mind you, we're at Goodison Park right now. He decides to take the fucking penalty, and it ends up being a terrible shot. Pickford goes the right way.
He wouldn't let him.
And it's 0-0 still. But the goal was there. Gordon, be a hero, be something. But not only that, why was he given the opportunity? He's not that guy.
You don't think he should have?
He's not that guy.
I mean, yeah, we just saw that.
We
but
all know
you
that,
don't-
though.
For narrative, you don't think he should have?
I don't think so because Gordon
Like,
right now...
disrespectful is what you're getting at?
No.
Oh, okay.
Gordon right now is in the part of his career where he's trying to prove himself. He's not established. He's never been a goal scorer. He's been a very effective dribbler, but that's it. This year he started well, but we need to see an entire season of him
Last year
being
was
that
good.
guy.
He had 12 goals, 10 assists last year. A double-double.
I know.
In the Prem, that was really good, man.
No, I know, but from the perspective of doing it consistently, being that guy, right? Being the guy that Newcastle go to for goal scoring. I don't doubt his skill, by the way. I'm not bashing who he is as a player.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he's not established. He's not a Premier League guy. He's not Newcastle's go-to player. And so I'm just surprised that he ends up getting that responsibility when Newcastle themselves need to win the game. I think there could have just been a Joe Ellington, for example. He's cold. He doesn't give a fuck. He's the guy that you're supposed to get to pick to score. You could even go Bruno Guimaraes. Hell, I even be fine with Tonali taking the penalty. Barnes, honestly, I think could have been the idea. But to put the pressure on a young Anthony Gordon, I think is a wrong move by Eddie Howe. I just think it's a wrong coaching move because you put pressure on a young guy who, yes, talent, bounds and bounds of talent. But when it's 0-0 and he's playing against his old club on the road at his old home, that's too much pressure, and it showed.
It is.
The moment was way too big for him.
I think so. I think the coach didn't fully know that. Like, he wanted to find out here. And I think he got his answer, but it's also like Anthony Gordon's like 23 years old, same age as Saka. Like, I could see him taking and going from this moment. He's going to have to take penalties at some point if he wants to become the player that we want him to become.
If I'm a Newcastle fan, I'm livid we didn't win this game. They should have won it. That moment was the chance to win the game. Everton didn't really do much after that. The thing is, neither did Newcastle. You look at the moment that would have given you 3 massive points. It was that moment. So given that it was 0-0, given the immense pressure that was put on Gordon, I think the coach should have gone with somebody else.
Fair.
Just considering all of those external factors.
No, it's fair. And I want to know in the comments if there's any Newcastle fans. I want to know who would you have had take the penalty, and how did you feel about Gordon taking it and honestly taking a terrible penalty?
It was terrible, man.
Pickford was happy to get that one.
The moment literally was too big for him. But I agree. this is a really big learning moment for Gordon. You hope, you hope. But I will say I say it will be. But I'm just saying, if I'm a Newcastle fan, I'm pulling my hair knowing that we could have won this game.
Yeah, and I think you could say the same thing if you're a Tottenham fan.
Yeah, man.
Transition like that.
Yeah.
Tottenham going up 2-0 away from home today with Brennan Johnson and James Maddison getting 2 really solid goals and honestly looking like they were in control of this match for the majority of that first half. Second half begins, and in 18 minutes, we see Brighton score 3 goals and take the lead. Brighton Stadium is rocking. The atmosphere is insane. Danny Welbeck, ex-Arsenal, scores against Tottenham, I think for the first time in over a decade. Ridiculous scenes, and Brighton comes back from down 2-0 to win 3-2. I haven't seen that in a while. A comeback of that magnitude since Everton versus Bournemouth a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
So Brighton comes out on top, and I think it's pretty crazy considering how they looked to begin the game, especially against Tottenham. It looked like they were not invested in this match. But man, that's football, bro.
Yeah.
A tale of 2 halves, and we saw it fully in this game.
I just don't know what's going on with Van de Ven and Romero. I just don't understand, because they've shown last year too, and in moments this year, that they're probably some of the best individual defenders in the Premier League. But the moment Brighton start applying pressure to the flanks of Tottenham, they get completely discombobulated. They don't know where they're at. Their help defense is all of a sudden gone, and Romero just starts ball watching. And then Van de Ven's just kind of just nowhere to be seen. It's very strange how badly and how drastically Tottenham's defense falls apart.
Yeah.
Considering the individual talent that they have. Realistically, Brighton got 3 good goals, but I think 2 of them could have been prevented if just the defense was better. Just straight up, man. Credit to Brighton, not taking it away from them, because they had to have the pressure to apply to Tottenham. But
I mean, 3 goals in 18 minutes, bro. Like
come
just
on.
sharpen up.
That's it. That's it.
Make that 1.
You just gotta make it 1, bro. You gotta sharpen up, and I'm shocked that they just simply don't. I remember a couple weeks ago too, Dragoshin had a really stupid moment, I think, drawing a penalty too, and he was good at the Euros. He was good last year in the January transfer, and so I'm just shocked that these individual talented players of Tottenham at the back are making really, really poor mistakes.
Let's get historical with it, man. Maybe it's a Tottenham gene.
It might be. You put the jersey on, and all of a sudden something happens, man.
Maybe it's that, man. Like we've seen things like this happen in football and be true, and I'm not gonna put it past them, because results like these really do make me buy into this idea that Tottenham might be cursed. Now sitting in 9th place with this result, not getting a single point out of this game, and Brighton moving up to 6th. Once again, having another Brighton-like season where they just finish top 10 and they look really convincing the whole time. Brighton cooking now. They're cooking, which is crazy for me to say given how they looked in the beginning of this match, but they're cooking now, and it's good to see. Let's go over to Spain, where we had league leaders Barcelona dismantle Deportivo Alaves and finish this game off by the 30th minute. I saw this game, and I'm gonna be honest with you, nothing to see after that third Leva goal. Like nothing.
Yeah.
I switched on over to NFL. Nothing else to see. Barcelona dominated Deportivo Alaves, and Leva getting a hat trick in this match. 3 good points for Barcelona, and I was surprised to see that. I thought that the Alaves side that I was watching was a relegation fighting team. They're fucking 12th.
Yeah.
12th, man.
Yeah.
So what am I supposed to take away from that, man?
Well, this is happening to me a lot in Spain, dude, where I see a team play somewhat well, and I'm like, okay, they must be like outside the top 4. They're in 15th. And then I'll see a team play pretty poorly, and I'll be like, oh, this has to be a relegation side, and they're like in 10th place.
Yeah.
So this is happening a lot, and what this is leading me to believe is that teams are just hella inconsistent in Spain. Everybody.
I learned my lesson. Because Deportivo Alaves, I thought, looked terrible in this game. And Barcelona just cooking. I mean, this was pretty straightforward and pretty easy. I think after 10 minutes, Leva got his first goal, and then I just kept cooking. Headers and set-piece goals, whatever you wanted. Rafinha was playing really well, and Barcelona continues their trend of victories, now bouncing back from that Osasuna match, but then more specifically, getting a victory before the international break.
Yeah, this is good for Barcelona. Bouncing back after such a crazy loss that I wish we could have witnessed, man. God damn it.
I know.
But I mean, Lewandowski, I think we kind of mentioned it going into this season in the sense that he came out publicly saying he's ready for this season. He feels the best he's felt since leaving Bayern, honestly. Last year was more of like a trial run. This year he means business, and he looked great. All three really good slot finishes, truly. Like, this is classic Lewandowski, one of the best finishers that we've seen in the 2010s, and he's still doing it in 2024. So it's honestly great to see vintage Lewandowski. We see with like vintage Suarez here in the MLS, but he's still doing it in Spain for Barcelona. So brilliant to see. And Rafinha, you already pointed it out, captain in this match, and he's been immense this year.
Hansi. Hansi got his hands on him.
I think there's some sort of Hansi Flick effect for sure going on between a lot of these Barcelona attacking players, and I think that's what makes Barcelona so attractive this year. Just the way that they play, and they have a lot to go for, not only in La Liga but in the Champions League. But yeah, obviously the guys that should be winning La Liga, right? The guys that should be winning the Champions League, their rivals Madrid getting a nice 2-0 win against Villarreal. And before I get to Madrid, Villarreal duped me, man. I got duped. Because they got fucked against Barcelona 2 weeks ago. Unfortunately, we also missed that game, but I was very curious and excited to see because Villarreal, up until that game, were looking good in La Liga. And then they get thrashed. What was it, 5-1, something like that? I don't even know. Something terrible. And then in this game, not showing much either against Madrid. Couple of half chances towards Villarreal, but that's pretty much it. Nothing concrete. They lose 2-0. And yeah, I'm disappointed because we had said 3 weeks ago that we were hoping there'd be a team that could be fight for third place, fight for that Atletico spot. I don't know if there's going to be one this year.
Nah, man.
I don't think there's going to be one.
Villarreal's solid. They improved from last year, but this is not a top 3 team in La Liga. This isn't. Vinny. Great goal.
Dude.
I wanted to talk about that.
Oh, my God, man.
I Loki didn't know he had that in him. That was from pretty far away.
He's angry, man.
Yeah, no.
Angry
the
when
ferocity and the dip on it and the placement, ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. I like what I'm seeing now. I think he's starting to wake up a little bit, Vinny.
Right.
It takes a while for him, but once he's on it, man, one of the best players in the world, and alongside Federico Valverde, who had a great match, I think, a goal and an assist in this game.
Yeah.
In a 2-goal victory, I think he was massive. Credit to Valverde. He's been immense this whole season. And I was just really thinking about it, bro. Like, Kroos isn't there anymore, man. Like, Modric is on his last leg. Like, Casemiro had left years ago. This iconic midfield that has controlled the middle of the pitch for Real Madrid is gone, bro.
Yeah.
And so I think we need to remember that, you know, there's these new guys trying to do what these legends of the past achieved. And Valverde so far has been able to hold down the fort, I think, in the midfield. Tchouaméni has been great too, but then you have the rotation of just many other midfielders that they have. Bellingham can often play in that role too, but Valverde, I think, is the guy who's set to become the next one up in terms of pure midfield play. And he's actually doing it so far. And I think that's a crazy thing because he's being tasked with to basically living up to the levels of some of the greatest midfielders we've ever seen, and he's actually doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. He's basically their spirit. He's their driving force. He can show up offensively, but no matter what, he's going to show up box to box defensively. He gives his heart for Real Madrid. He is Madrid. He reminds me a lot of what Ramos gave to Madrid for so long. Is just as far as intensity, dying for that Blanco shirt. Valverde does the exact same thing, but just in the midfield. And he's Real Madrid through and through. They found their guy. They really did.
They really did.
Generational. He's going to be here for a long time. He'll outlive a lot of these other players who will come and go from Madrid, but Valverde will stay. He's that guy.
Yeah,
he's that guy.
There's no he doesn't play Real Madrid, man.
There's no way.
That would be wrong.
I don't know where else he'd go, but I think he knows that, and that's why he gives absolutely everything.
Yeah.
You can see he truly loves this club.
Yeah.
He really does. And another guy who does love this club, but what a bad day, man. Dani Carvajal. so unfortunate because, I hate him because I hate playing against him.
We hate him.
Hate him.
Yeah.
But I said it when he won the Champions League. Best right back there's ever been. Ever. And just sad to see such a bad injury, you know?
It was bad, dude. The audio.
Oh, God. Do you hear that shit?
Like, you could,
there's no faking it, bro.
Faking it. Like that looked bad, and even like the knee, it like kind of popped out.
You see that? Yeah.
It was sad, man, and it's unfortunate because I think Real Madrid cannot reach their best potential without Carvajal on the pitch.
Agreed.
Like, no matter how good they play this year, there will always be a part of me that's like, could they have played better if Carvajal was on the pitch? And I think it is true. They could have. Yeah. Because Carvajal can lift the team up to that level. He is a serial winner. And as you mentioned, one of the greatest fullbacks we've ever seen. If he's on the pitch, I mean, there's no telling what he could do. He can find an assist. He can score a header in a Champions League final. He can prove to be a pivotal defender as well against your best winger and shut him down. He can do anything that's asked of him at the highest of levels. That's why he's Dani Carvajal, man. That's why he's so hated, and that's why he's so loved as well by his own fans. Sucks that we're going to have to go a whole year now without seeing two vital Spanish players and Carvajal and Rodri, man.
Yeah, honestly.
That's really unfortunate.
Quick recovery to both of them and to Carvajal, man. Hopefully they come back strong and quick.
And now let's move on over to Atletico Madrid. I'm not even going to do a setup here.
Beautiful goal to start the game. Julian Alvarez shows up big, man. And honestly, it was the type of goal that only Julian Alvarez can score, truly. It's instinctive, it's decisive, it's ruthless. It's the type of goal that we haven't possessed in this side, really. This is why we spent $90 million, because this is a really difficult finish, but he put it away brilliantly, very smoothly. And then the rest of the game happened, man, and I don't know if you saw it or if anyone else saw the Atleti match. Atletico gave nothing for the rest of the 90 minutes. We just sat back, let Real Sociedad come at us. Now the thing is, Sociedad have been having a terrible season themselves.
Oh, yeah, terrible.
Terrible. And you could see why in this match, but because even though they had 70% of the ball, they created nothing. Absolutely nothing. The only guy that was able to create a little bit was Kubo. Kubo was really active out on his wing, low-key beating Galan like several times. His first touch was fantastic, but the problem with Kubo is he has no final product. He can't find the right pass. His crossing is always terrible, and he can't shoot either. So he's just a really good dribbler, really good wing creator, but that's it, man. He's like a worse version of Adeyemi, like way worse. And that's the unfortunate thing about Kubo, because the way that he dribbles, man, he could be one of the better wingers in the league, but he just has no final product. Yeah. It's frustrating. But he had a good game from that perspective, from that dribble perspective. But outside of him, man, Sociedad had nothing. It looked like we were going to get a nice, tight 1-0 win, but then Sucic scores a, honestly, crazy goal.
Goal of the week contender.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you go see it if you haven't seen it. He one times this. He's like 25 yards out, and it's a looping ball. Oblak, there's no way he even gets a fingertip on this.
He did.
Yeah.
He did, though. But
it was just too looping, and nothing could be done. 1-1, Atletico get a draw here, but yeah, this is a labored result. Even if we had won this game, I just wouldn't have been happy with the way we played. But you'll notice a recurring trend. Clip me if you can. I haven't been happy with the way we've played for the last month. Like, truly, like, I thought we played good the first 2 matches of La Liga, but for me, it's been slowly getting worse. We lost 4-0 to Benfica at the week, and now we get a really bad draw against one of the worst teams in La Liga, in Sociedad. It's just not looking good for Atletico, but this is how it's been. It's been a downward trend for the last month.
That second half was probably the worst second half I've seen from any team this season. Bro, they did not offer anything, like, forward. And that's okay, because that's not okay, but I was okay with them sitting back, but at least trying to post some sort of possession when they got the ball back. And I think it's represented in the fact that the way that Real Sociedad got the goal was through a terrible giveaway from Rodrigo de Paul, who just thought there was a player behind him, tries to pass it backwards and passes it right into the path of whoever assisted Sucic. Or Salval, I think. Yeah. And that's how they got their goal. And so I think it says a lot about both teams. Sociedad offered nothing offensively. I agree with that. But Atletico, I think, could have done at least a little bit more when it comes to possessing the ball once they got it back from Sociedad, because Sociedad was giving it away a lot. But they would just kick it out, throw it up top and hope that something would happen, and the counter-attacking was nowhere to be found. So that's what disappointed me about Atleti, because I know they have the talent to at least be able to pose a little bit of threat in that sense, or at least be professional. But this was not a professional performance from them in the second half, from what I saw.
No, and it's concerning because the way we're playing now, sure, we'll probably be fine in La Liga, and honestly, we might even be fine as far as getting into the next stage of the Champions League. But the problem is that it's just not sustainable, and when we play a team that's better than us, we're just not going to win.
I don't see
We're not going to win because we can't build chemistry in these games that are against teams that are weaker than us, and when you just constantly invite pressure, you're going to concede. We don't have world-class defenders. We used to. If we had defenders that like Liverpool had, for example, I'd actually be a little bit more optimistic. But the players that we have now, if we invite pressure, it doesn't matter who we're playing, we're going to concede. So this just isn't sustainable. And not only that, when you don't have the ball, you're chasing, you're running more. And so this is just going to tire out our players. We're going to have a massive fatigue problem come the middle of the season. I just don't see how this ends well for Atletico if this continues. So I'm very, very concerned for this next month that's coming, because I do think it's pivotal as far as how our energy levels and our optimism is going to be for the rest of the season.
How much is Simeone to blame here for the decision to essentially park the bus in this match?
I think fully.
It's weird, isn't it?
I think it's fully to blame.
It does seem to me like he thinks he has, I think he thinks he's got Godin back there. And he's got Felipe Luis and Prime Oblak. It's very weird to me that he still kind of applies that same play style in moments like these. And I feel he could have approached this game much differently to at least get 3 points or salvage 3 points in this match, and not hope for Sociedad to pull out a banger out of their ass.
Yeah, man. It's
a little weird is what I'm saying.
No.
He is
100%.
being this stubborn.
I think it's just the pressure to win. I think it's getting to him. And because you consider how consistent Atletico have been for the last 10 years under him, right? Now I think the front office expects it, right? We expect third place. We expect to fight for second and first. We expect to be good in the Champions League no matter what, no matter the players that we have. We also just spent over $100 million in the last transfer window getting players like Julian Alvarez and Alexander Sorloth. So, Simeone, we should be winning, right? And so I think the pressure is low-key just getting to him, and he's electing to be very, very defensive to secure these wins. Like I said, I think it will work in La Liga, but barely, man. Barely. And it's only because the rest of La Liga is not that good.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm seeing people start I usually don't see it. You rarely see it. But I'm seeing some Simeone out tweets.
Yeah.
And I don't want that, but it's just weird, man. It's weird. That's what it's coming to right now for Atletico. So I want to see if he adjusts. I assume he will, because he is a class coach. I would think that he has the self-awareness to do that. But you're right, man. It's starting to get scary.
Next month, I think it's going to be pivotal. I really do.
A quick peek into Ligue 1. Let me just ask you a question. Can Monaco challenge PSG for the title?
I think they can.
I think so too.
Monaco have low-key been flirting with building a very good squad for the last couple of seasons, and I think given that Mbappe is now out, PSG are they're not going through a transitionary period, but they kind of are because their superstar's gone. I think this is a perfect opportunity.
Yeah, they're striking.
I think they're striking. I think the timing is aligning right now. Monaco, I think, have a genuine chance to win the league this year.
And this week was great for them because they won 2-1, I believe, and now they sit atop of the French league in the table because PSG tied against Nice earlier this morning. So I watched PSG play against Arsenal on my flight back from Germany.
Oh, dope.
This PSG team is awful.
Damn.
It's awful.
Yeah?
At least by PSG standards.
Right.
I don't want to make them seem like they're trash. There's no chance. Like, usually when I watch PSG in the Champions League, there's enough to where I can convince myself and be like, they could be contenders. And I've been saying that for the past 6 years, and that's been cataloged where I buy into PSG and then they end up disappointing me. I thought last year was probably one of the best runs that they had outside that finals run that they had where they lost to Bayern Munich in the final. This was the second best performance. But now losing Mbappe and starting a front line of Barcola, Kangan Lee, and Dembele, I think they've lost it.
Yeah.
Low-key, I think they lost the aura that PSG once possessed a few years ago with Neymar, balling out, getting Messi at one point. Even when they had Zlatan or Cavani, I think those teams might have posed more of a threat. Now it's just
I don't think it's there anymore, man.
Yeah.
I really don't. And I think results like today, I think results like what we saw in the Champions League prove to show that there's a genuine opportunity now for a new French champion if someone is willing to step up to it. Because no one does, and I think PSG will get it. They are that good.
Yeah.
But Monaco does have that chance, man. And yeah, Marseille right under as well. I don't think they have it, but they're there, and maybe they could do something. But I think the opportunity is there for Monaco to potentially
Should've made
surprise
that
PSG,
shit.
and it'd be awesome to see a new French champion. Craziness happening in Germany as well, with Leverkusen tying 2-2 against Holstein Kiel. Disappointing result for Leverkusen as they got Leverkusen in this game, with Holstein coming back from being down 2-0 to tie this match 2-2. I'll also note that Bayern tying Frankfurt 3-3 in an incredible shootout of a match, which I will talk about in a second. But craziness in the Bundesliga, man, with these ridiculous results. And, you know, honestly, the title race is pretty wide open right now for any of these 4 teams.
Yeah, if we get a 3-4 horse race in the Bundesliga, I think that'd be awesome to see. And we might, because not just in this game, but Leverkusen's defense has been leaky this year. It's crazy because their defense was so solid last year, but what we're noticing is they're conceding a lot more. And they're already like trajected to, you know, concede way more than they did last year. So I do think Leverkusen is just defensively not as good. Offensively, I think they're the same, maybe if not even a little bit better. But that'll be interesting to see for Leverkusen. We already talked about Bayern in the sense that, you know, they're trying to come back. They're trying to regain the Bundesliga, steal it back from Leverkusen, so they have that narrative. But Leipzig, man, if there's ever a time to do it, bro, like, come on. You have a transitionary Bayern. You have a good Leverkusen side, but can they go back to back, right? Can they actually do it? Leipzig, this is your opportunity if you want to bring silverware to your club.
And I looked back on their whole squad lineup today. It's good.